yesterday.
And hey, if you like
Jameson.
to borrow up to $10,000. Use code COVER to borrow up to $10,000.
Crosstown Classic coming your way. Game one of this three-game series in just minutes. I'm Judson Richards. Time now for Who Are You Banking On, sponsored by UC Bank, building business, growing wealth since 1868. Time banking on Michael Busch to have a big night tonight. Our pitching matchup sponsored by Ziegler Subaru of Kenosha. Enjoy the laid-back experience of Ziegler Subaru of Kenosha. Edward Cabrera toes the rubber for the Cubs. The White Sox will give the ball to righty Sean Burke. Time now for a round baseball scoreboard. Pirates lead the Phillies 2-0. That game is in the third inning. That will do it for us in the pregame show. Coming up, it's Zach and Coom. It's the Cubs and the White Sox from the rate. That's next. You're listening to Score and the Northwestern Medicine Cubs Radio Network.
The Cubs play here on 104.3 The Score and the Northwestern Medicine Cubs Radio Network.
Come see what's happening in Greater Des Moines, where every weekend feels like an event. The nationally ranked Downtown Farmers Market, the iconic Iowa State Fair, the award-winning Des Moines Arts Festival, and Hinterland, one of the Midwest's can't-miss music festivals. Add in an iCubs game, a tenderloin as big as home plate, and a few surprises along the way, and suddenly your trip is whatever you want it to be. Des Moines, it's a trip. Make it yours at CatchDesMoines.com.
Before you change the station, listen.
The Cubs are on fire and have turned 1060 West Addison Street, a.k.a. Wrigley Field, into the hottest address in baseball. This week, the Cubbies flew the W for the 15th straight time, their longest home winning streak since 08. And they're winning in dramatic fashion.
Dansby's going to score. The Cubs are going to walk off the red. 4 ball game. 3 straight walk-off wins in the series against Cincinnati.
At the center of it all is Nico Horner, flat out playing like the best second baseman in baseball. Shota Imanaga has been one of the game's best on the hill with a sub-2.5 ERA. With PCA doing PCA things in the field and a solid bullpen, this Cubs team looks built for the long haul. The NL Central has been baseball's toughest division. Will the Cubbies' home field advantage be the difference in the chase for the division crown?
Time for the great Mascot race. Here's the pitch. And they're off. They're neck and neck. Look at them go. Listen to the cheers. They're heading for home. It's too close to call. Here's the play of the plate. It's Screech. Congratulations on winning the great Mascot race.
The MLB app. Yeah, it's got game. This game. These games. All the games. Pregame. Postgame. And
in the air. This ball's got a chance. Gone. This is what you came here for. You got the Cubs game on the score.
Chicago Cubs baseball is presented to you in part by the Volvo XC90, Vinny's Beverage Depot, Benjamin Moore, Grand Appliance, James Hardy Building Products, Laturo Tire, It's Not a Game, Illinois.com, Old National Bank, Sea Glass Wine, Sloan, Southwest Airlines, Xfinity, your Chicago and Northwest Indiana Hyundai dealers, and Yingling, the oldest brewery in America. And now, here's the Hall of Famer, Pat Hughes, and All-Star Ron Coomer, with all the exciting play-by-play action of Chicago Cubs baseball.
For the first time since 2008, the Cubs and White Sox enter the Crosstown Series with winning records. From Wright Field, it's the Southside edition of the 2026 Crosstown Classic. Hi, everyone. A pleasant good evening to you from the visiting radio booth alongside Ron Coomer. Zach Zaidman in for Pat today. Rich Wyatt is our engineer, helping us blast through the speakers of your radio as well as all of your smart devices. And Judson Richards is along as well. It's the opener of a 3-game weekend set between the Cubs and Sox. A couple of right-handers going tonight. Edward Cabrera for the Cubs, Sean Burke for the White Sox. Let's get right to the starting lineups, brought to you by Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. For Craig Council's Cubs, first place in the National League Central with a record of 28-16. Nico Horner is the leadoff man. He's at second base. Michael Busch at first. The third baseman is Alex Bregman. Left fielder Ian Happ is the Cubs cleanup man tonight. Seiya Suzuki in right. The designated hitter Moises Ballesteros. Batting seventh, catcher Carson Kelly. Pete Crow Armstrong in center. And Dansby Swanson hits ninth. He's the shortstop tonight with Edward Cabrera on the mound. For Will Venable's White Sox, a record of 22-21, second place in the American League.
Berger lines it to center. Waldy's got it! Ryan Waldschmidt with a diving catch in left center. What a fantastic play by Ryan Waldschmidt. That's crossed left field. A no doubter. It's on its way. It is gone. Over the Crawford boxes, off the wall. Julio.
That was 106 off the bat. What a night for Andres Jimenez. That is the first two-home run game of Andres Jimenez's Major League career.
How about this? 5 strikeouts in a row for Weathers. Swing and a miss. That's the 9th strikeout for Ryan Weathers. Quite an outing for Ryan Weathers. Had a no-hitter going into the inning.
He swings away, launches a ball down the line. Field goal! Goodbye, 3-run homer.
How about you, Kobe Mayo, huh? Boy, is he fired up, and that had to feel good, folks.
You know, we like to stay on topic here, but squirrel. Squirrel.
What? Where?
Squirrel.
Where?
Oh, no.
How about that? That went right up into the batter's eye, into the camera position. How about that?
Whoa, that one will fall into the White Sox dugout.
Well, it looks like he's still aggravated about being traded away. She's so excited she just threw it back. That was off the ledge, too. We can't get that down.
How do you get out, though? That's the problem. There's no exit.
Run double.
That next step from having some rough couple years, but they're playing very good. The Cubs are having a very good first quarter of the season, and I do believe we are going to have a packed house here at Wrigley Field.
On a beautiful night here on the south side, mostly sunny, temperature in the low 70s as we get set for first pitch tonight between the Cubs and Sox. How hot are both teams? Well, the White Sox come in with a record of 16-8 over their last 24 games, Coom. Only 4 teams are better than that during that time. One of them, the Cubs, 19-7.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. I look forward to seeing some of these guys that are playing here for the White Sox. Montgomery has really turned the corner. He's playing great baseball. And, the kid tonight on the mound, Burke, has a very good arm. I watched film of him today. Very good fastball. I saw a very good slider in his last couple starts. Everybody's talking about the knuckle curve. I always liked coming here to play. The ball carries here on the south side.
That's why you're smiling from ear to ear. The Cubs leadoff man is presented by Binny's Beverage Depot. If Nico Horner gets a hit, Binny's Beverage Depot will donate $200 to service dog charities. If you can't find it at Binny's, it's probably not worth drinking. Sean Burke delivers, and Horner swings at the first pitch. High fly ball routine to center. It is caught by Peters. 1 pitch, 1 away. The 2026 Crosstown Series officially underway.
Boy, Nico right on time with that heater. And I think, this looks like it's jumping off his bat, but he hits it just enough off the end of the bat to keep it in the ballpark.
Sean Burke is a right-hander, 26 years old, 2-3 this season with a 3.68 ERA. The batter now, Michael Busch. Burke delivers, and Busch looks at a strike. 0-1. Burke, a native of Massachusetts, played his college ball at Maryland. He works his motion and deals. Busch swings and taps it foul at the plate in the hole. 0-2. What should we know about Sean Burke?
Mid-90s heater, maybe even a touch more today, being pretty pumped up in this series to start this first game. I saw a very good slider. He's got the change. Everybody talks about the knuckle curveball. He has had a couple outings where that knuckle curveball has been a problem for him, but he throws a lot of strikes, and that is another thing that's, a positive for a young pitcher.
Bush fouls one back off the screen. Count remains 0-2. Bush riding a 15-game on-base streak, during which he's hitting .292 with 6 extra hits and 12 RBIs. He's the hottest hitter on the Cubs heading into this series. The pitch, that one just misses, a knuckle curve. So the count is 1-2. It's just low and outside. Righty-lefty matchup. Burke peers in. He gets the sign from his catcher. Romo acknowledges. Here comes the high leg kick and pitch. Low and outside. 2-2.
Good take there by Michael. That was a pretty good off-speed pitch down and away.
Officially 74 degrees and clear at first pitch here on the south side. As Burke delivers the 2-2, and a high fly ball hit to right field. Raging back, Kelnick at the track near the wall. Does he have a play? Yes, he does. And makes the catch, angling toward the corner. Allowed out by Michael Bush, 2 away.
That's so close to being a ball that goes almost over all the stands down the right field line. Bushy hit that ball a mile in the air, but it got brought down. That's one of those, Kelnick just standing at the wall waiting for the ball to come down. Either it stays in the park or not, and it did stay in the yard.
Alex Bregman at the plate, and he looks at a slider that spins into the zone for a strike. The count is 0-1. I should mention there's a 14-mile-per-hour wind blowing from right to left at the moment, but it swirls here on the south side. The pitch. This is inside.
I always thought, and we played the game this way here when we came here, when the flags are blowing one direction and you're looking at them in the outfield blowing one direction, the ball's going to carry the opposite way because of the swirling wind.
Bregman takes ball 2 inside, so the count now 2-1 on the Cubs' third baseman. A game time temperature sponsored by Four Seasons, your trusted local experts for heating, air conditioning, plumbing, sewer, and electric. Righty-righty matchup as Burke works his motion. The pitch to Bregman is a called strike, the slider that spins into the zone. I'm not sure Bregman liked that call.
Yeah, it's that front door slider. He threw it in off the plate and broke it to the inside corner.
So now the count is 2-2. Bregman waits. Burke deals. And a line shot off the glove of Burke, deflected to second base. Barehanded by Mydroff. Throw to first, not in time. Bregman beats it out for an infield single.
Well, it's a smash right back at Burke. And he's saying he's okay as he swings his glove behind his back. And I know you said it hit his glove. I thought it hit him in the arm, but it's, obviously his non-throwing arm.
Oh, you're right, Coop.
Yeah. Thought it hit him in a forearm kind of area.
Yeah, the glove hand. But yeah, you're right. The glove arm.
Good hustle by Bregman to beat the throw. That was going to be a close play. So the Cubs with first base runner in the first hit of the ball game.
So Bregman at first, 2 down, top of the first. Cleanup man Ian Happ at the plate. Switch hitter batting from the left side. Now the pitch. Happ takes a ball up high. Romo had to jump out of his crouch to catch it. 1-0 the count. First baseman Murakami is holding on Bregman. As Burke sets at the belt. A long set. Now the pitch. That one's in the dirt. It bounces to the left of the catcher Romo, and taking second on a wild pitch, Bregman.
That's the knuckle curveball we were talking about, and that's that spiked knuckle curve. It bounces right in behind home plate. And very tough pitch to block because when it hits the ground, it explodes up because of the spin on the baseball. Wild pitch, and Bregman takes second.
So Happ at the plate with a 2-0 count. Bregman in scoring position at second base. Now time called. Happ steps out of the box, adjusts his powder blue batting gloves, and digs back in. Happ went 3 for 18 on the Cubs road trip through Texas and Atlanta. He swings, line drive, base hit in right center field. Around third, racing home, Bregman. He's going to score, and the Cubs strike first. RBI single, Ian Happ. 1-0 Cubs here in the first.
Nice at bat by Ian. He got a fastball. And I think for the lefties today, with the way his fastball moves and he likes the crossfire, the lefties are probably going to pull the ball more so than anything else with the cutter, the fastball, and the knuckle curveball. So we'll see what happens. But Bushy just missed hitting a home run, and now Happer into right center.
So Happ at first, 2 away, 1-0 Cubs. Seiya Suzuki at the plate, and he looks at a slider for a strike, 0-1. Seiya has been mired in a slump. Hitless in his last 15 at-bats with 7 strikeouts. Suzuki, an enormously powerful right-handed batter. The pitch. Up high. 1 ball, 1 strike.
First inning is powered by Invesco QQQ. Let's rethink possibility. Invesco Distributors Incorporated.
Big hole on the right side of the infield with Murakami holding on to Happ, and the second baseman Mydroth up the middle to the right of the bag. The 1-1 delivery. Seiya fouls out of play off to the right. 1-2. Laz Diaz is the home plate umpire tonight, and the crew chief, Brian O'Nora, working first. Chris Siegel manning second, and the third base umpire is Eric Backus. Happ extends his lead off the first base bag. 1-2 the count on Seiya. The pitch. Called strike 3. Fastball clocked at 96 miles per hour. Happ stranded at first, but the Cubs take the lead on a ribby single by Happ. 1-0 Cubs over the Sox after a half inning of play. On the score, the Northwestern Medicine Cubs Radio Network.
The Cubs are on fire and have turned 1060 West Addison Street, a.k.a. Wrigley Field, into the hottest address in baseball. This week, the Cubbies flew the W for the 15th straight time, their longest home winning streak since 08. And they're winning in dramatic fashion.
Dansby's going to score. The Cubs are going to walk off the red. 4-ball game. 3 straight walk-off wins in the series against Cincinnati.
At the center of it all is Nico Horner, flat out playing like the best second baseman in baseball. Shota Imanaga has been one of the game's best on the hill with a sub-2.5 ERA. With PCA doing PCA things in the field and a solid bullpen, this Cubs team looks built for the long haul. The NL Central has been baseball's toughest division. Will the Cubbies' home field advantage be the difference in the chase for the division crown?
Shot to third once, he dives and makes the play.
Right in the webbing. There's the human vacuum cleaner. Gunnar Henderson, how about that big arm across the diamond?
Antonacci, what a catch in left.
Hasn't played third base a handful of days. Nice shot. How about Zach Geloff laying out to make the catch?
He slides to make the play.
Turner diving play, spins, throws in time. Diving stuff by Royce.
Ski bop song then? Now you're getting it. Beep bop beat up song, might as well is my favorite.
The more you wash, the more you feel like a
Bush. Who's on first? Southwest Airlines, ranked first among U.S. airlines by the Wall Street Journal. Based on WSJ's 2025 rankings, see southwest.com/WSJ.
28-year-old right-hander Edward Cabrera on the mound as we get set for the bottom of the first inning here on the south side. Cubs with 1-0 lead over the White Sox. Left fielder Sam Antonacci will lead things off for the Sox. Left-handed batter against the right-hander Cabrera, who works his motion and deals, and Antonacci fouls it back off the screen. Cabrera cooled 3-1 with a 3.88 ERA, 8 starts, 5 of them quality starts. But he's coming off his first loss as a Cub, last time out in Texas last weekend. The pitch. Antonacci, a check swing. Did he go around? Yeah, he did. On appeal, says Eric Backus. 0-2.
Yeah, for Cabrera, you know, I would say, other than the last start, he has been just outstanding with command of all of his pitches. You know, the changeup has been just a devastating pitch. You know, but as we know, he's got life on his pitches. I mean, he has a great arm.
Antonacci looks at a fastball up high. 1-2 the count. The next pitch is low. A changeup that missed. Count 2-2. The announcement of the umpires. Sponsored by Old National Bank, where relationships and results matter. Cabrera, high leg kick and pitch. Antonacci chops one up the middle, fielded by Swanson behind the bag. Throw to first in time to get the speedy Sam Antonacci one away.
Now, one thing we heard about this White Sox group is, you hear a lot of the word scrappy being used and great hustle. And I think you just saw it there. That's a routine two-hopper to a Gold Glove shortstop, and it ends up being a bang-bang play.
Munetaka Murakami at the plate. He swings and misses, and a blazing fastball from Cabrera. Count is 0-1. This guy has established himself as a big-time slugger early. 15 home runs. The pitch. Tap foul off to the right into the Cubs dugout. 0-2.
Hitting right at 230, but 15 bombs. And when you look at his stroke, he is the stereotypical power left-handed guy.
The next pitch, swing and a miss, strike three. As Cabrera gets Murakami with a slider, 2 away.
That's the pitch, that and the changeup down, right? He is a guy that if you make a mistake down in the zone, that's trouble down and in. If you throw that pitch down and it's below the zone, under the hitting zone, he's going to swing, and you're going to get a chance for the punch-out.
Miguel Vargas at the plate. Looks at a sinking fastball, low and outside. Count is 1-0. 2 down here in the bottom of the first inning. Cubs 1, Sox nothing. Cabrera deals. And Vargas looks at a ball up high. It's now 2-0.
Speed Gun today, powered by Xfinity. Reliable Wi-Fi at one price for 5 years. Xfinity, imagine that.
Cabrera works on the extreme first base side of the rubber. The 2-0 delivery. This is popped up right side. On the outfield grass, it's Nico Horner angling toward the line. He makes the catch. White Sox go down in order in the first. We head to inning number 2. Cubs 1, Sox nothing. On the score, the Northwestern Medicine Cubs Radio Network.
This is your home for every pitch of Cubs baseball.
Gosh, we've gone to Sea Dogs games since we were kids.
I've been coming to see the Sea Dogs for the last 30 years. Great experience.
Everybody here is just bends over backwards to help people out and wish the world was like it is right here at the ballpark.
We've always wanted to be more than just a baseball team. We want to be strong, active, contributing members of the community. And I think that effort is seen by the people and the fans, and they want to support that effort.
They say it's a game of numbers, pero el flow es completamente otra ciencia. Esto es flow mayor.
And there's a shot into left field. Stanton on his way around to score. And the Yankees are on the board. First, it's 1-0 New York. Bouncer headed up the middle, and that's going to get through and driving a couple of runs. Franked up and sent into the right center field gap. McMahon's going to score easily. They're going to wave Wills around. Plays to third. 5-0 New York. Another one headed for no man's land, but Harrison Bader read it well. Former Gold Glover comes up to make a very nice catch for the guy they call Big G, who has driven in a run with the third straight hit to open the 5th inning. Chopper for Jazz. Hot shot. And he makes the catch. That got on there on a line, and he's telling Jose Caballero, did you see that? I could watch Jazz Chisholm play. I mean, he plays with such joy. Only David Cohn, Ron Guidry, and Mel Stock.
Or contact Adam Collopy at ACOLLOPY at villageofbedfordpark.com.
1-0 Cubs lead as we head into the top of the second inning. Speaking of our second inning, brought to you by Sea Glass Wines, delivering crisp, refreshing flavors that hit every time. Here's Zach and Coon.
Great to have Judson Richards helping us out tonight. Pat has the series off. He'll be back with us Monday when the Cubs start a series against the Milwaukee Brewers at Wrigley. Moises Ballesteros at the plate, and he looks at a fastball low and inside from right-hander Sean Burke. Count 1-0. Boy, Ballesteros trying to work his way out of a slump. Hitless in his last 25 at-bats. Here's the pitch. That one bounces in the dirt all the way to the backstop. 2-0 now on Ballesteros.
Yeah, for Ballesteros, he's running into that thing that all young players run into, where the league, has made some adjustments to him. The other thing about him is he wasn't sneaking up on anybody.
Ballesteros takes a strike at the top of the zone, a fastball.
A lot of guys will break into the league, and, there's other guys around him that are hitting that, really get all the attention from the opposing team. he came in with a big reputation with his swing.
Line drive deep down the left field line, but slicing foul out of play. 2-2.
So he's one of those guys. They're definitely game planning against him. And, early it was the off speed and something soft. Then he was pounding the ball to left center. Now it's the high fastball. Now he's got to be able to take that ball at the top of the zone and decipher, is this a pitch I'm going to swing at the top of the zone, or am I laying off the one out of the zone?
Burke peers in, acknowledges the sign from Romo. Here's the 2-2. Low and inside, almost hit by Esteros with a slider. Full count. The lights are on. Tonight's game is powered by ComEd.
I hope they are. It's a night game.
Yeah. It's not night just yet.
No. Beautiful. It's just absolutely gorgeous tonight.
A bouncing ball into the right side. Backhanded by Mydroff. Across the body throw in time to get by Esteros. One away.
That's another one of those pitches. That's a high fastball. It's out of the zone. Esteros gets on top of it. So the hands worked well, but it's still a pitch out of the zone. Feel like a Bosch prediction brought to you by Bosch Power Tools. Feel like a Bosch. Well, Zach, you're sitting in the Hall of Fame chair. Guess who gets to predict and feel like a Bosch? You feel like Bosching tonight?
I always feel like Bosching. Carson Kelly at the plate, and he looks at a fastball up high. The count is 1-0.
Judson, I have no idea what that means, but that's what we're going with.
Not going to touch it.
It sounded cool, right?
Yeah,
Here's
sure.
the 1-0 to Kelly. That's a called strike, a slider. Hard one that spun into the zone. 1-1.
What do you got as a prediction for tonight's ball game?
All right. You got me thinking in this direction earlier. You mentioned how proficient Edward Cabrera has been this season. Here's the 1-1. Kelly looks at the ball low, 2-1 the count. This is his 9th start. 5 of them have been quality starts.
Yep.
I'm going to predict number 6 is going to happen tonight.
He has a quality start here. I like the Cubs' chances of winning a ball game.
Now the 2-1. Kelly looks at strike 2, another hard slider in the zone.
Yeah, that's that front door slider. He's thrown a few of them now to the right-handed hitters, and they've all worked pretty well. That's also one of those pitches after you see it a couple times, you keep that front side closed. That's a ball you can hit into the left field seats.
The 2-2 delivery. Kelly fouls it out of play off to the right. Cubs wearing the blue jerseys tonight with the gray pants, red numerals and lettering on the back outlined in white. A Cubs logo on the front left part of the jersey. Blue batting helmets with a red C on the front. Kelly waits, the 2-2. Golfed foul out of play off to the right, so they'll do it again with one down here on the top of the second. Cubs with a 1-0 lead. Blue socks for the Cubs. Kelly wearing white shoes. Burke works his motion. Now the pitch. Kelly swings and misses. Strike 3 as Burke gets him with a slider. 2 down.
Pretty good pitch. That ball, has good downward movement to it. And that's after seeing that ball inside. And now this one starts out in the inside corner and breaks down to the middle of the strike zone, but below the zone.
Pete Crow Armstrong at the plate. And hearing it from the crowd here on the south side. The pitch. PCA looks at a fastball for a strike. 0-1.
Big gap in left center field. Actually, I guess it is left center. But the center fielder playing around towards right center. And left fielder looks like he's out there by him. He's lonesome out there. As big as that area is towards that left field side.
Crow Armstrong takes a ball, a fastball that missed from Burke. High and outside. Count 1-1.
Right, they kind of bunch him towards right center and right field. And now the other side of the field is pretty open.
The next pitch is fouled back by PCA. 1-2.
Defensive alignment, sponsored by Fitzgerald Equipment. Material handling handled. Learn more at FitzgeraldEquipment.com.
PCA has played 9 games in his career against the White Sox, a .389 average, 8 extra base hits, 10 runs batted in. The pitch. Up high. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
This is a series he's going to be fired up for, too. This is one of those, series. It's electric. The fans are into it from every pitch. And PCA is one of those guys. He loves all that kind of hype into the ball game. So I expect him to have a good series here against the White Sox.
That last pitch fouled out of play to the left. Count remains 2-2. Over his last 12 ball games, Crow Armstrong hitting .225 with just 1 home run. So maybe this series gets him going. Here comes the 2-2. Swing and a miss. Ball squirts to the left of the catcher. Romo rolling all the way to the on-deck circle. And PCA is safe at first base after striking out.
Now this is that breaking ball we were talking about that Burke had problems with in the last start, that spiked knuckle curve, and this ball goes down and it hits right in behind home plate. Pete swings at it, but when it hits the dirt, it explodes because it's going straight down, and it bounces up, unable to block that ball behind home plate. Romo, and then Pete's at first base.
He's got a Steelers lead. The batter, Dansby Swanson. The pitch. Swanson taps it foul behind the plate. Count is 0-1. The White Sox wearing their alternate uniforms tonight, the ones that look like the Chicago Bulls uniforms. So they got red jerseys with black sleeves, black pants with a red stripe down the side, two-tone caps, mostly black with red bills, and black shoes for the pitcher, Burke. Here's the 0-1. Swing and a miss by Swanson in the hole. 0-2. The uniform description sponsored by Benjamin Moore. On the field or walls of your home, the right team and colors make all the difference. Official paint to the Chicago Cubs, Benjamin Moore. Swanson hitting 189 on the year. The pitch. Popped up. Left field. Antonacci under it. And he makes the catch off to his left side for out number 3. Crow Armstrong stranded at first. After an inning and a half, it's the Cubs with a 1-0 lead over the White Sox. On the score, the Northwestern Medicine Cubs Radio Network.
Hey Cubs fans, it's Michael Bush. Listen to every game here on the Chicago Cubs.
I'm Jonathan Mayo, and for more than 20 years, I've traced the path of baseball's rising stars, navigating the back roads of the national pastime and basking in the glow of small-town America's spirit, where the team is woven into the fabric of everyday life, where it's more than just a game. It's a celebration of the people, the traditions, and the culture that give these places their soul. This is Grassroots.
Jim Thorpe's resume reads like a work of pure fiction.
So he's in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. He's in the College Football Hall of Fame. He got Olympic medals for the decathlon and the pentathlon.
He's the greatest at
I thought I was an athlete, Lindsay. Thorpe finished his Major League Baseball career with the Boston Braves in 1919, where he played alongside an outfielder named Les Mann.
He invented this particular projector.
And this is not all he's done, right?
He started championing to get baseball into the Olympics. He finally succeeded for the 1936 Olympics, which was held in Berlin.
The German government had discouraged other nations from sending Jewish and black athletes.
We sent over Jesse Owens, and we sent over Mac Robinson, Jackie Robinson's older brother.
Trailblazers like Thorpe and Robinson certainly lit the way for countless others to follow. Go to baseballhall.org to plan your visit to the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown, New York, and catch every episode of Hall of Fame Connections on MLB.tv.
Cubs with a 1-0 advantage heading into the bottom of the second inning. Tuesday, May 19th is Northwestern University night. Fans who purchase tickets through Cubs.com/specials will receive Northwestern and Cubs hat presented by New Era. Don't miss this offer. Here's Sam.
Thank you, Judson. Colson Montgomery swings and misses at a changeup from Cabrera to begin the bottom of the second inning. 0-1 the count. The next pitch is high for a ball. 1-1. Montgomery is the cleanup man for the White Sox, hitting at .230 with 11 home runs and 29 RBIs. I'll get you a station ID here shortly as Cabrera whirls and deals, and Montgomery pops it foul out of play. Let's pause 10 seconds for stations to identify themselves. On the score, the Northwestern Medicine Cubs Radio Network.
Talk Cubs on Rahimi, Harrison, Grody, middays 10 a.m. to 2 on 104.3 The Score. This is the Northwestern Medicine Cubs Radio Network, WSCR, WSCR-FM, and HD1 Chicago.
Bottom 2 from right field on the south side. Cubs leading the White Sox 1-0. The count is 1-2 on the Sox cleanup man, Colson Montgomery. Edward Cabrera kicks and delivers. And an excuse me, check swing foul ball at the plate. Count remains 1-2.
For a good pitch in on the hands of Montgomery at 97 miles an hour.
Bregman playing wide of third where a shortstop normally would be. The 1-2 and a high fly ball deep right. Suzuki back at the track near the wall. Looks up. It's gone. Tie ball game. Colson Montgomery goes deep. 1-1 Cubs and Sox here in the second.
Well, this White Sox ball club, as we've known coming into this game and this series, they've been able to hit some balls out of the ballpark, that's for sure. And this is a changeup, middle of the plate, knee high, and Montgomery hits it into the bullpen. Towering home run.
A 381-foot drive by Montgomery. Exit velocity 104 miles per hour. His 12th home run of the year. Ties the game up at 1. Chase Mydroth at the plate. Looks at a fastball off the outside, 1-0. Mydroth, a right-handed batter, hitting at 281 on the year with 3 home runs. Cabrera deals. Called strike. Fastball, 97 mph, 1-1. Coming into play today, Cabrera had allowed 7 home runs in his last 22 2/3 innings. As Mydroth takes ball 2 low and outside. Does that concern you in any way?
Not really. I mean, as long as he has quality starts, he's on the attack throwing strikes, and that's probably the most important thing. And if you give up, as hard as he throws, you put the barrel on the ball. The ball's going to go, with the velocity that he has. But to me, I just think you want him to pound the strike zone, make quality pitches. He's gonna get a lot of outs.
Cabrera deals, misses low and outside, so it's a full count. The pitch before was fouled on the ground to the left by Mydroth. Now the payoff pitch. Bounced foul off to the left, so they'll do it again. Mydroth, one of the guys the White Sox acquired before last season in the trade with Boston that set Garrett Crochet to Fenway. The pitch popped up on the infield left side. Swanson underneath it. Now Bregman takes over and makes the catch on the infield grass wide of third for out number 1.
Well, the one thing about playing here at right field is when the ball goes up and it's a windy day, you don't always feel the wind on the field, but as the ball goes up, you always got to pay attention. And the wind swirls around the stadium. So as the infielders, you got to kind of converge on the baseball here in the infield on the pop-ups.
Andrew Benintendi looks at a curveball that floats into the zone for a strike, 0-1. Benintendi is the White Sox designated hitter, left-handed batter. The pitch fouls it back, 0-2. Do the Cubs have any kind of advantage? Because you play your home games at Wrigley Field where the wind is such a factor. So when you come here to the south side and you're dealing with swirling winds, you're not really surprised by any of that.
No, I don't think they have an advantage just because this is the White Sox home park and they're playing in this.
High fly ball by Benintendi to center field, but playable for Crow Armstrong, who makes the catch angling toward right center for out number 2.
I would say when teams come in to play in Wrigley or here and it's real windy, the home team has the advantage. But in a game like this, the Cubs play in a very windy ballpark, obviously, where the wind affects the game maybe more so at Wrigley than any other ballpark in the league. And I would say at times the wind affects the game here.
Jared Kelnick digs in, left-handed batter. Cabrera delivers. Swinging a tap foul off to the right. Ends up in the Cubs dugout along the first base line, 0-1.
You notice how White Sox hitters here early in the at-bats are very aggressive against Cabrera.
The 0-1 is low, 1 ball, 1 strike wide.
He is a guy that throws a lot of first pitch strikes. He's in the zone right away, and believe me, the scouting report against him, they know that, so they're up there ready to hit.
The 1-1 1, swing and a miss. Change up by Cabrera. I say change up, but it was clocked at 93 miles per hour. 1-2. Kelnick hitting at 250, still looking for his first home run in a White Sox uniform. Cabrera faces home plate, acknowledges the sign from his catcher, Kelly. Works his motion and deals. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Cabrera gets Kelnick with a changeup. Well, the White Sox tie up the ballgame on the solo shot by Montgomery. 1-1, Cubs and Sox after 2 on the score in the Northwestern Medicine Cubs.
Here we are, Arlington, Texas. This is the Grand Slam burger. So 2 patties, brisket, caramelized onion, American cheese, ranch aioli, or ranch mayo, if you will.
Oh yeah, we're in Texas.
Yeah.
It's something that you definitely want to take a picture of and just put on the gram. I took a bite of it, but it still looks dope.
It's a burger that looks great, but also delicious.
Two. High drive, deep to right. Get out of here. Upper tank for Liam. Number 8.
I'm telling you, he's hitting him like Carlos Delgado. Oh, wow. Oh, man. He decided to go 4-seamer, about 98 miles an hour, and it was turned around. 431.
That has to be the longest hit home run of the season for the Marlins.
A 4-hit game, too, for Liam Hicks.
Puedes ser el dueño de grandes momentos del béisbol. MLB Auction te permite participar en la subasta de bates, bolas y jerseys autografiados, con artículos de tus equipos de grandes ligas favoritos, leyendas y jugadores. Visita auctions.mlb.com.
All your favorite games from MLB Play are back, bigger, bolder, and better than ever. Test your skills with daily puzzles like MLB Pickle, the Ultimate Mystery Player Challenge, and Immaculate Grip, where stats and strategy collide. Then in Spinball, build your roster, take on your friends, and compete for the weekly prize. Or be the first to beat the streak and hit your way to the $5.6 million jackpot. Plus, the all-new Daily Walk-On. Lock in your players by...
Tied at 1 as we head into the 3rd inning. Who's on deck? Sponsored by TimberTech Decking and Railing. Everything wood should be. Visit timbertech.com. Here's Zach and Coop.
1-1 ball game, Judson, as Nico Horner leads off the 3rd inning for the Cubs and looks at a fastball for a strike from right-hander Sean Burke. 0-1 the count. Horner flied out to center on the first pitch of the ball game. Nico calls time, adjusts his white batting gloves, and digs back in. Burke facing home plate. Now he winds and deals the 0-1. Horner pops it foul at play right, 0-2. Guys, we've got to play the Binny's Beverage Depot attendance game. If you can't find it at Binny's, it's probably not worth drinking. Horner waits for the 0-2. Here it comes. In the dirt, bouncing all the way to the backstop. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Well, what do you got, Z?
I guess I'm going to go 38,500. The pitch. Pop up. Shallow right, angling toward the line. Mydroth racing over, and he makes the catch with his back to second base in fair territory right near the line for out number 1.
Kind of an awkward swing by Nico. That pitch fooled him and just kind of flicked at it. Those are the kind of swings you want to make contact because you think it could be a strike, but you want to foul that ball off. Nico got a little too much of it, unfortunately for him. And that ball stayed in the field of play.
Michael Busch at the plate and looks at a knuckle curve low. The count is 1-0. So I just gave my guess, and I forgot what it was.
Solid.
38.5.
Yeah, 38.5 was your guess. That is correct.
I'm in the game. Burke deals, and Busch looks at a breaking ball for a strike, 1-1.
I would ease up on the coffee, bro. I know it's a big series. Everybody's fired up.
It's not that. And I was fired up to begin with. The pitch, Busch swings, and it's a high fly ball, foul left side, and it slices out of play, 1-2.
I will say 37,200.
37,200. We got back late last night, right?
We did, yes. We absolutely did, yeah.
And you had to get up early this morning to start preparing, right? So you need the caffeine to
there's
to
no
charge
doubt.
you
Yeah,
up.
I'm at the top level of being caffeinated.
Yeah.
So if I start talking real fast, you'll know why, folks.
I'm beyond that, Coom, as you can obviously tell. And it's a big series. Here comes the 1-2. Bush taps it foul off to the right. So they'll do it again. Let's see. Let's go to the second row. Help us out here. Judson, what's your guess tonight?
I did not get in late last night, but I'm also very, very caffeinated. 39,011 is what I will go with, and we'll get you riches in just a moment.
Now the 1-2. Bush looks at a ball low, a curve that missed. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Richie, you done counting?
Yeah, I'm going to go with 38,000 flat.
All right.
All right, so everyone's now in the game as the drama heightens to another level. Here comes the 2-2. Called strike 3, fastball that froze Bush. 2 away.
96-mile-an-hour two-seamer running down and away from Michael, catches the zone. Pretty good pitch by Burke.
We're in the top of the third. Cubs 1, White Sox 1, 2 away. The batter, Alex Bregman, went an infield single and scored a run his first time up the pitch. It's a called strike. Fastball, 95 miles per hour from the right-hander Burke. Right at the bottom of the zone on the inner half. Bregman waits for the 0-1. Here comes. Tap foul off to the left. 0-2.
Third inning is brought to you by Consumers Credit Union. The people in your corner stand up for you wherever you go. Consumers Credit Union.
Cool thing about this series, if you count the 1906 World Series, these teams are 79 and 79 in 158 meetings. The pitch, Bregman, it's a high fly ball deep center. Going back is Peters at the track near the wall. Has a play and makes the catch. Allowed out by Bregman. That ends the top half of the third inning. Middle 3. Cubs 1, Sox.
In the bottom of the third inning at the rate. It was 74 degrees at the start of this game. Time and temperature sponsored by Circus Sports. Sports betting the way it should be with no bet fees. Here's Zach Zaidman.
Judson, thank you. Tristan Peters at the plate. Edward Cabrera deals, and the first pitch is popped up behind home plate. Does Kelly have a play? No, this one's in the stands in front of us. 0-1.
Gotta look up, folks. That ball almost landed right down on top of some people, and they weren't looking up. That'll leave a mark. Could hit you.
It'll only happen once.
Yeah.
From that point forward, you will always look up. Now the 0-1 by Cabrera. And Peters takes a ball high and tight.
Coming to you live all season long from the Invesco QQQ broadcast booth, proud partner of the Chicago Cubs.
The next pitch Hit in the air, foul out of play off to the left by Peters, 1-2. Peters is 26 years old, a native of Manitoba in Canada, but played his college ball at Southern Illinois. 7th-round pick of Milwaukee back in 2021. He broke in last year with Tampa Bay, played 4 games with the Rays, and then traded to the Sox in December. Cabrera, high leg kick and pitch in the dirt. 2-2.
Peters is a guy that you got to watch. He's got good speed. He does a good job in center field. But he will bunt and bunt at just about any time in this game. So he is definitely a guy that you got to pay attention to.
Pop foul out of play by Peters. Off to the left. 2-2. 2 strikes. Pregame drops back. He's playing where shortstop normally would. Third base is essentially unguarded by the Cubs right now. Swanson, the shortstop, is up the middle to the left of second. The pitch. Up high. So Peters has worked a full count. Cubs 1, White Sox 1. No one out here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Ian Happ with an RBI single in the first. Colson Montgomery solo shot in the second. The payoff pitch. Peters. It's a high fly ball right center field. It's playable, converging PCA and Suzuki. And it's the center fielder, Crow Armstrong, who makes the catch. 1 down.
Good pitch as Peters worked the count to 3-2, but Cabrera makes a good pitch to fastball inside and just kind of ties him up. Routine fly out to right center.
The catcher, Drew Romo, the number 9 hitter at the plate for the White Sox. Left-handed batter, the righty Cabrera deals. Called strike, a curveball that floated into the zone. 0-1. The next pitch. Low and outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. The count on Romo. Kyle Teal, who was supposed to be one of the big players on this team this season. The 1-1 is low and bounces past Kelly. Hits Laz Diaz on the foot. He's fine.
Laz been around a long time in our game. Great guy, good umpire.
The 2-1 delivery. A ground ball fielded on 1 hop on the mound by Cabrera. Underhand toss to first in time to get Romo 2 away.
Good play by Cabrera. He's rubbing his hand. That ball was a bullet back at him, 1 hopper, and he caught it in the palm of his hand in the glove. And that's going out there to talk to him.
Personally handed in the new baseball.
Yeah, didn't want to throw it to him, make him catch it again. That was good. It's nice to last.
See, that'll go a long way. The umpires are wearing olive green caps tonight. It's Armed Forces Weekend around Major League Baseball and the United States. The pitch. Outside to the batter, Sam Antonacci. 1-0 the count. 2 down here in the bottom of the 3rd. 1-1 game between the Cubs and Sox. And when the Cubs are in the field, they're wearing olive green caps. As Cabrera misses low with a fastball just off the outside. So the count is 2-0. Righty-lefty matchup. Here's the pitch. Antonacci grounds 1 to second. Fielded between the legs by Nico. The flick to first in time. And the Sox go down in order here in the 3rd. 1-1 game, Cubs and Sox, as we head to the 4th on the score in the Northwestern Medicine Cubs Radio Network.
Hey, Chicago, this is Carson Kelly. Pat and Ron call every game here.
Pat Murphy going to use an ace up his sleeve and bring in Christian Yelich with a tying run aboard at third base. Fly ball to deep right! It is way back and gone! Yelich delivers in the clutch. It's his first career pinch hit home run, and he left nothing in the tank.
My God, how far did that go?
And there it is, a base hit to center field. It's an RBI single for Spencer Jones. His family loves it, and the Yankees are up 2-0.
And in the end, it was Jesus Rodriguez that came up with the money hit.
take a look at what Jacob deGrom has done.
7 shutout innings for deGrom, 10 strikeouts. What a performance.
Nowhere to put Muncy. The pitch. Ripped to right, going back wide. He's on the warning track. He jumps, and he made the catch. The play of the series.
2 outs in the 9th. Terang in the center field. And there she goes! The Brewers get a walk-off on Mother's Day. And it is Terang who wins it.
The 4th inning. We'll get a look at our out-of-town scoreboard in just a moment. The out-of-town scoreboard sponsored by Club Citgo. Download the Club Citgo app. Save 23 cents per gallon on your first fill-up. Here's Zach.
Ian Happ at the plate, juts in, and he fouls the first pitch back at the top of the 4th. Out of play, 0-1 the count. Cubs 1, White Sox 1.
Zach, we'll take a look at a couple of the NL Central games. Pirates do lead the Phillies 7-3 in the bottom of the 6th inning. Now, Kyle Schwarber did homer in that game for the Phillies. He's got 19 home runs to lead all of baseball.
Wow. Murakami is number 2 in the American League, tied with Byron Buxton. He's got 15. Happ waits for the 0-1. Here it comes. Up high. 1 ball and 1 strike.
In Cleveland, the Reds lead the Guardians 3-0 in the top of the 5th inning. Brewers atop the Twins 1-0. That one, they are heading in the 6th inning in that game. And finally, in St. Louis, Cardinals and the Royals, no score after 1.
Thank you. The 1-1 is fouled back off the screen by Happ. 1-2. Ian put the Cubs on the board in the 1st with an RBI single. His 20th run batted in this season. Happ blasted a solo shot in last night's ball game in Atlanta. Here's the 1-2. Line drive hit to right. This will drop in for a base hit. So Happ is 2 for 2 after the leadoff single here in the 4th.
Good start here in the 4th. Happer gets this fastball down in the zone and just might have been a little slider, actually, now that I see it again. But stayed right on and hit a bullet to right. Happer's 2 for 2.
So now Seiya Suzuki at the plate. 1-1 ball game. Happ at first. The pitch. Seiya, big swing and a miss at a slider. 0-1.
Seiya way out in front of that breaking pitch. See if he can dial in. He's going to see a bunch of those if he after that swing. You'd see if he can dial in the right center field. Just let this ball just get a little bit deeper on him.
Suzuki hits a pop-up, foul territory off to the right. Is it playable? No, it's out of play. A fan in the first row, right next to the roof of the Cubs dugout along the first base line, had the ball go off his hands. It rolled onto the roof of the dugout, and about 3 fans jumped on top of the roof to try and corral the loose ball. Someone got it. Excellent athleticism out there in the stands. 0-2 the count on Suzuki. Burke sets at the belt. A long set with Happ at first. Now the 0-2. Up high, 1 ball and 2 strikes. The count on Suzuki.
High fastball there to Suzuki, so I would guess that's a setup pitch to try to go with something that's going to break away from him. See if there's a big hole on the right side of the diamond, but they are shading him towards right center field.
And the 1-2. Call strike 3. A slider that spun into the zone. And Suzuki is retired, 1 away.
Second time Suzuki is punched out looking, and these pitches are, I think he feels like they're inside, but they're on the corner. It's that front door slider or cutter that Burke has thrown to the righties, and it has been an effective pitch here in the early going.
Now Moises Ballesteros stands in. Burke deals. Ballesteros, ground ball up the middle and through for a base hit. Moises' slump is over. On his way to third, Happ the throw, cut off. Cubs have men at the corners with 1 away here in the 4th. And you know that has to feel very good for Ballesteros, who was hitless in his previous 26 at-bats.
Yeah, he gets a pitch that's, it's down in the zone. He gets a strike, and he hits this ball very hard back through the middle. It's up, but it's in the zone, and hits it to the pull side of the second base bag and into right center. Great job of base running by Ian to go first to third. Now the Cubs need a big swing and a bat from Kelly.
Who struck out swinging his first time up. Men at the corners, one away, 1-1 game. Here's the pitch. Kelly swings and lines it foul out of play off to the right. 0-1. Pete Crow Armstrong on deck. Kelly waits for the 0-1 delivery with the men at the corners. Here it comes. And a line drive base hit in the left center field. Cubs take the lead. Happ scores on his way to third. Ballesteros the throw. Cut off. RBI single. Carson Kelly. 2-1 Cubs over the Sox here in the fourth. Ballesteros at third.
How about Ballesteros going first to third on a ball hit the left center? I think he surprised everybody going after that ball. Peters comes over and Antonacci gets it and he fires to third, but he's just tardy getting rid of the ball, for no other reason than I think surprise. And Ballesteros goes first to third.
And now Pete Crow Armstrong at the plate. Cubs up 2-1. Men at the corners, one away in the fourth. He shows bunt and bunts it right back to the mound. Fielded by Burke. Throw home. And they tag out Ballesteros trying to score. 2 away. Kelly stops at second base. PCA safe at first.
Now this is a play. Pete is trying to pull this bunt past the pitcher. And it actually goes, and Burke comes off the mound, fields it. Ballesteros goes right away, but he is going to be out by a good 10 feet at home plate. No real issue with the play at the plate.
So 2 down here in the fourth. Men at first and second for the Cubs. They've got a 2-1 lead over the White Sox. Dansby Swanson at the plate. Right-handed batter against the right-hander Sean Burke. Swanson flied out to left his first time up. Dansby hitting at 188 on the year. Burke delivers. Low and outside. That pitch was in the dirt and blocked by the catcher Romo. Count is 1-0. Kelly is at second base. Crow Armstrong at first. Swanson at the plate. Stands deep in the box. Right-handed batter hits out of a crouch. Uses a toe tap. Burke looks at second. Here's the 1-0. Swanson fouls it back. 1-1.
Dansby get a good pitch to hit. And once again, a slider. That one stays towards the middle of the plate. Puts a big swing on it just underneath and fouls it straight back.
Burke peers in. Working on the third base side of the rubber. Puts the ball in the glove. Sets at the belt. Looks at second where Kelly is. And the 1-1. Swanson pops it up. Right side. Murakami on the dirt right near the bag. Makes the catch for out number 3 in fair territory. And that ends the top of the fourth.
Puedes ser el dueño de grandes momentos del béisbol. MLB Auction te permite participar en la subasta de bates, bolas y jerseys autografiados, con artículos de tus equipos de grandes ligas favoritos, leyendas y jugadores. Visita auctions.mlb.com.
You've got to be very careful where you're going because you might not get there. But how exactly can you go from a yogi to a king to perfectos, the old professor, and pint talk? Find out on Hall of Fame Connections.
Yogi Berra was an 18-time All-Star and 10-time World Series champion.
This is the only perfect game in World Series history. You ask him about it, and he would say, it ain't been done before, and it ain't been done since.
David Wells was perfect on May 17th, 1998, Beanie Baby Day.
It's not the pitcher that's calling the game, it's the catcher calling what pitch to throw.
The rule was, can't be more than 18 inches of pine tar. Home plate is 17 inches wide. And so he said, well, if it's more than an inch, and it was a lot more than an inch, then it's an illegal bat.
They might be going to call George Brett out. Well, he is. He's out. Yes, sir, is out. Look at this.
keep it down a little, will you, please?
Okay, Yogi.
Casey Stengel and the other touring ball players met the King of England.
Of course, with my English, we had a little trouble understanding each other.
As Yogi said, when you come to a fork in the road, take it. Catch every episode of Hall of Fame Connections on MLB.tv and discover your own connections to the game at baseballhall.org.
Clips app or check in online at greatclips.com. Great Clips. It's gonna be great.
Bottom of the fourth inning from the rain. Cubs lead the White Sox 2-1 the score. Hey, the score and the Cubs are once again teaming up for the 24-hour Cubs for a Cure Radiothon starting this Thursday on 104.3 The Score. 100% of the proceeds will benefit Brain Up for cancer research. Here's Zach and Coon.
It's a great cause, Judson. Thank you. Cubs with a 2-1 lead over the White Sox as we begin the last of the fourth. Carson Kelly in the top half of this frame, giving the Cubs the lead with an RBI single. Munetaka Murakami at the plate. He swings and misses at a changeup low from Edward Cabrera. 0-1. Murakami struck out swinging his first time up in the first. Cabrera deals. Murakami swings and misses again, this time at a slider. 0-2.
Now Murakami's seeing this ball down and he's attacking. But for Cabrera, he's kept it down out of the zone, and that's how he got him out the first at bat with the punch out.
Cabrera faces home plate, working on the extreme first base side of the rubber. The windup and pitch is low. Missed with a change. 1-2 now on Murakami. Hitting at .225 on the year with those 15 home runs, 29 RBIs. The pitch is low and bounces past Kelly. 2-2 now on Murakami.
Steady diet of pitches about shoe top high or lower.
Cabrera shakes off Kelly. Now they agree on a side. Here comes the 2-2. Outside. So Murakami has worked a full count. Murakami, 26 years old, 6'2", 213 pounds listed. And the payoff pitch. Murakami lines one to left. It drops in front of a charging Happ for a base hit.
Well, big fella, pretty nice piece of hitting there. He goes out and gets that ball away and just strokes it to left field. He was not getting anything that he could hit and drive to the middle or to the pole side. And Cabrera makes a good pitch away, but he just dumps this one in front of you and Happ and left.
So Murakami represents the tying run for the White Sox at first base, being held on by Bush. Miguel Vargas, right-handed batter at the plate. And he takes a strike, a slider that spins into the zone from Cabrera, 0-1. There's a big hole on the right side of the infield with Bush holding on Murakami and Horner up the middle to the right of second base. Vargas popped out his first time up, hitting at .238, 9 home runs. A long set, and the pitch. Cold strike, slider, and now Vargas is going to challenge this.
All challenges and instant replays, ball strike challenge, sponsored by Northwestern Medicine.
And it's a ball outside. So the call overturned, 1-1 the count. Cabrera sets above the belt. And the 1-1. Way outside to Vargas, 2-1. Murakami does not have a stolen base this season, but what we've seen from Cabrera is he holds the ball for a while with runners on base. So another long set. Murakami goes. The pitch is low and outside. Murakami hit the brakes after starting to move to second. 3-1 the count now on Vargas.
Well, if he would have just kept running, he'd have stole second base. He had 2 or 3.
The 3-1. Vargas hits a high fly ball, shallow left near the line. Happ racing over. Does he have a play? In foul territory. Makes the catch on the sidetrack. Murakami has to retreat back to first. 1 away.
Nice play by Ian. He had to go a long way to get to this ball. And then you got to factor the sidewall and the wind, but a nice play by Ian.
Four-time Gold Glove left fielder. That makes the play. One down here in the bottom of the fourth. Cubs with a 2-1 lead. And here comes the cleanup man, Colson Montgomery, who homered his last time up. Solo shot into the bullpen in right center. The pitch. Called strike. Curveball that spun in the zone. 0-1. Murakami at first, one away. Bottom of the fourth. And the pitch is inside. 1-1 on Montgomery.
Said Montgomery hit the homer in his first at bat. It was a changeup out over the plate about knee high that he hooked into the Cubs bullpen area.
His 12th home run of the year. Throw to first. Murakami dives back in safely. Montgomery, 24 years old, first round pick of the White Sox back in 2021. From Holland, Indiana. Big man, 6'3", 230 pounds. The pitch. Montgomery pops it up on the infield, near second base, behind the back. Swanson has a play, makes the catch. 2 away.
Good pitch to get the pop-up of Montgomery. In fact, I got a little birthday wish. One of our friends and pilot from United Airlines, Andy King, his whole family, they're here tonight. And it's his birthday today, and he wanted to come and hang out here at the ballpark. What a better night, as a Chicago Cub fan to come here and watch a ball game.
Throw to first, and they pick off Murakami. Tag applied by Michael Busch. Out number 3. Excellent play by Edward Cabrera. After 4, it's the Cubs with a 2-1 lead over the White Sox. On the score in the Northwestern Medicine Cubs Radio Network.
Great Cubs guests all season long.
Puedes ser el dueño de grandes momentos del béisbol. MLB Auction te permite participar en la subasta de bates, bolas y jerseys autografiados, con artículos de tus equipos de grandes ligas favoritos, leyendas y jugadores. Visita auctions.mlb.com.
There's so much history here, and when I put it on, and it's so light, it just feels just right. It feels just right. I mean, look at this. It got the city on it. When I was 7 years old, my uncle takes me where? To Shea Stadium. Darryl Strawberry hits a home run, and I become a fan for life.
Berger lines it to center. Waldy's got it! Ryan Waldschmidt with a diving catch in left center.
What a fantastic play by Ryan Waldschmidt. That's crossed left field. A no doubter. It's on its way. It is gone. Over the Crawford boxes, off the wall. Julio.
That was 106 off the bat. What a night for Andres Jimenez. That is the first 2-home run game of Andres Jimenez's Major League career.
How about this? 5 strikeouts in a row for Weathers. Swing and a miss. That's the 9th strikeout for Ryan Weathers. Quite an outing for Ryan Weathers. Had a no-hitter going into the inning.
He swings away, launches a ball down the line. Fair ball. Goodbye, 3-run homer.
How about you, Kobe Mayo, huh? Boys, he fired up, and that had to feel good, folks.
Top 5 here on the South Side. Cubs 2, White Sox 1. It's the opener of a 3-game set, South Side edition of the 2026 Crosstown Classic. Nico Horner at the plate. Sean Burke deals, and Horner looks at a slow-moving knuckle curve that floats into the zone for a strike. 0-1. Horner calls time, steps out of the box. It's 0 for 2 tonight. A fly out and a pop out. Burke kicks and fires. Nico takes strike 2. Same pitch. Another knuckle curve.
I'm sure for Burke, they're trying to get that pitch established and get him able to throw that pitch in the zone. He has spiked a lot of those in the dirt.
Nico swings and fouls it off the netting to the right. Behind the plate, 0-2.
Coming to you live all season long from the Let's Go QQQ broadcast booth. Proud partner of the Chicago Cubs.
Burke, a third-round pick in 2021. The 0-2, Nico swings and loops one into shallow right center field. It drops in for a base hit. Nico, a big turn at first, but Peters gets the ball back into the infield. Leadoff single here in the fifth for Nico Horner and the Cubs.
Good swing by Nico. Gets his fastball, and you watch him pull his hands in and just inside out this ball and shoot it the other way. Great two-strike swing by Nico, and now the Cubs something going. Bushy just missed a home run in his first at-bat. Hit the ball a mile in the air, and it was caught right in front of the wall in straight right.
Wind blowing in from right to left at the moment. Burke kicks and fires. Bush swings, line drive, base hit down the right field line. This will roll all the way to the corner. Horner on his way to third base, being waved around. Here comes the relay throw home, not in time. Horner slides in safely, and the Cubs take a 3-1 lead over the White Sox.
Michael Busch aggressive at home plate. He gets a pitch he can handle and hooks it. And hits this ball down into the corner, as you said, Z, and it sticks right into the corner, which helps the Cubs. And what that does is it forces them to throw that ball 335 feet from the corner to home plate. Nico flying around third, and Barry waving him along, Q with the no doubt about it, and Nico slides in for the Cubs' third run.
RBI double for Michael Busch. Now the batter, Alex Bregman. The pitch is in the dirt. Blocked by the catcher, Romo. Count 1-0. Doubles by Cubs batters are sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Reliable, comfortable, convenient. Southwest just makes sense. So Busch now has a 16-game on-base streak. 3-1 Cubs. Bluff throw to second base by Burke. Still no one out here in the top of the fifth. And that's the third time around in the order against Burke for the Cubs. The 1-0. Bregman looks at a strike, a slider that spins into the zone. Bregman did not like that call, thought it was off the outside. 1-1 the count. Busch at second base. Burke sets, looks at second, works his motion and deals. Bregman takes strike two, another slider, 1-2.
A little high breaking ball to Bregman, right at the top of the zone.
Bregman waits for the 1-2 delivery. Here it comes. Low. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Third straight slider from Burke.
To me, just in looking at the film of Burke in his last few outings, you know, I thought the slider, he's got a good crossfire fastball, but his slider was a very good pitch.
And the 2-2. Bregman hits a high fly ball deep center. Going back, Peters at the track has a play, makes the catch. Tagging and heading the third is Busch. He gets there easily. 1 away.
Second ball, Bregman is hit right to the wall in really left center field. Just missing, you know, a pair of home runs. Just think he caught both of those just off the end of the bat, but that's a good sign. Bregman is getting very close to heating up. And those are 2 near misses.
He had a big series in Atlanta where he started to hit the ball, including a home run. Ian Happ digs in. Cubs cleanup man, 2 for 2 with an RBI tonight. Infield in, the pitch. That one missed, a fastball off the outside. And now the White Sox are going to challenge.
See what we got here.
It just clipped the top of the zone on the outside edge for a strike. So the call overturned, and the count is 0-1. Infield remains in. Busch at third, 1 away. Cubs up 3-1. Happ waits. Burke deals. And he misses high and outside. So 1-1 the count.
And the ABS challenges and instant replays. Ball strike challenge sponsored by Northwestern Medicine.
Center fielder Peters shading Happ to pull toward right center. A long set by Burke, the pitch. Up high. 2 balls and a strike.
Good take by Ian. That high fastball. You know, when you get a man in scoring position, sometimes you get a little aggressive and you want to get this ball and drive it to the outfield, and that's a pitch up, but Ian did not chase that high heater.
Bush at third base. 1 down. The 2-1 to Happ. Up high. 3-1. That was a knuckle curve from the right-hander Burke. Who peers in, gets the sign from his catcher. Romo acknowledges, puts the ball in the glove, sets at the belt, looks at third where Bush is, and delivers the 3-1. In there for a strike. Curveball, 3-2.
3-1 hook from Burke. Knuckle curveball.
Yeah, right at the bottom of the zone.
Good pitch.
Half. Infield remains in. Count full with Happ at the plate and Bush at third. Cubs up 3-1 in the 5th. The pitch. Up high, ball 4. Happ draws a walk as he's reached base for the 3rd time tonight. And it'll bring up Seiya Suzuki with men at the corners and just 1 away here in the top of the 5th. The Cubs with a 3-1 lead.
And then I'll bring out the pitching coach to talk to his young right-hander, and I would assume White Sox will be getting somebody up here pretty quick, I would think. Burke at 85 pitches in the ball game. Still nobody shuffling around down there in that White Sox bullpen, so maybe not.
Home plate umpire Laz Diaz breaks up the mound meeting, wants to get the game moving along, so pitching coach Zach Bove heads back to the White Sox dugout along the third base line. Walks of Cubs batters, sponsored by It'sNotAGameIllinois.com. Speeding in a work zone is like arguing with the ump. A no-win. Mind the signs, avoid the fines. So here is Seiya Suzuki, 0 for 2 tonight, hitless in his last 17 at-bats. But a big opportunity here. Men at the corners with just 1 down in the 5th. Seiya waits. Burke deals. And Suzuki looks at a slider for a strike, 0-1.
Seiya has had a hard time with that slider today. He's been called out on strikes on that pitch, inner half, that slider. He's just not picking it up.
The next pitch. Suzuki swings and misses as Burke doubles up on a slider, 0-2.
That first one was in inner half. That one down and away out of the zone.
Bush at third, Happ at first. Seiya at the plate. He calls time. Takes a half swing and now digs back in. Powerful right-handed batter hits out of a crouch, extends the hands high over home plate with the bat. A long set. And now the 0-2. Low and outside, a third slider to Suzuki. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Yeah, if he's not seeing it, you know, why would you change up if you don't think he's on the slider? And now the White Sox got a right-hander warming up in the bullpen. I kind of figured that. See if Seiya can let this ball get a little deeper and put a good swing on it.
Seiya swings and pops it foul out of play off to the right. Into the upper deck. Off the hands of the fan, and it rolls into the second deck along the right side. 1 ball and 2 strikes. That was a fastball from Burke. Men at the corners with 1 down. Cubs up 3-1. Burke's ready, throw to first. And Happ slides in safely. Seiya hitting at .259 on the year. He's got 7 home runs, 16 runs batted in. And an opportunity to add to that total here. Happ goes, the 1-2, fouled out of play off to the right by Suzuki.
Another fastball away. Suzuki spoils that one.
If you were in the box right now, would you be thinking slider?
I would, yes, absolutely. I'd be covering the outer part of the plate, and I'd be trying to hit that hole on the right side.
A long set by Burke. The 1-2. Seiya lines one to left. Bush scores. Happ on his way to third base. Ball retrieved by Antonacci. The throw goes to third as Seiya moves to second. RBI, Seiya Suzuki, and the Cubs now up 4-1 over the White Sox here in the fifth.
Now Seiya does a good job of letting that slider finally get to him, and then just hooks this ball into left field. Ian goes first to third. It drives in a run, and Seiya just keeps on going, so he'll get a double. And a nice piece of hitting by Seiya. And now the White Sox with the infield in, and I was wondering if that was going to be it. And now out comes the skipper, Will Venable, and that's going to be all for Berra.
Yep, the White Sox are going to make a pitching change. And before we take the break, thanks to that RBI double by Seiya Suzuki, a reminder that doubles by Cubs batters are sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Reliable, comfortable, convenient. Southwest just makes sense. Seiya snaps an 0 for 17 skid with that ribby double, and that'll be all for Sean Burke. Pitching changes by Cubs opponents are sponsored by Sloan, the official water efficiency partner of the Chicago Cubs and leader in smart water and commercial restroom solutions.
Just when we think we've seen it all, baseball gives us something new to talk about.
Splits two defenders and makes a great grab. The kick is good, right through the flying uprights.
Whoa, went down inside his chest protector.
That's not a catch?
Make way for Batman.
People would love this if we did Lady and the Tramp.
Ronald Acuna Jr. pouring dirt into Ozzie Albies' glove. He flips the entire glove to first base. Fast and furious and then on.
Now let's dive into this week's top plays.
Is pulled and a leaping grab by Shoebake. Carson Bench with a pulchritudinous play. Moving fast toward big league stardom. Randy Rosarena! Superman catch! What a leaping grab by Quan.
And those 39-year-old legs are still cooking.
Oh, are you kidding me, Petey? Help it! Oh, hey now, hey now. What a play by Ryan McMahon. How about that?
Puedes ser el dueño de grandes momentos del béisbol. MLB Auction te permite participar en la subasta de bates, bolas y jerseys autografiados, con artículos de tus equipos de grandes ligas favoritos, leyendas y jugadores. Visita auctions.mlb.com.
Morgan & Morgan, 332 South Michigan Avenue, Chicago.
33-year-old veteran right-hander Trevor Richards now on the mound for the White Sox. Cubs up 4-1, men at second and third with just one away here in the fifth inning. Infield in, Moises Ballesteros at the plate. The pitch is a called strike. 0-1 the count. Richards started the year with Philadelphia, now on the White Sox. A 6.75 ERA in 3 appearances this season. The pitch outside, 1-1 the count on Ballesteros, who singled his last time up. He had been hitless in 26 straight at-bats before that base hit. Here's the 1-1. Foul back just below us, out of play. Let's pause 10 seconds for stations to identify themselves on the score in the Northwestern Medicine Cubs Radio Network.
Covering the Cubs and all of Chicago's teams on the score middays with Rahimi, Harrison, Grody, 10 a.m. to 2 on 104.3 The Score, WSCR, WSCR FM, and HD1 Chicago, an Odyssey sports station.
The 1-2 to Ballesteros outside, 2-2 now.
Good take by Ballesteros, back-to-back changeups. He fouled one back, and that one just wide.
Apps at third, Suzuki at second, infield in. The 2-2. Ballesteros swings and misses, strike 3. As Richards gets Ballesteros with a fastball, 2 away.
Well, after a few changeups, then you go to 4-seam fastball, and it's in a great location, right on the outside corner at the knees, and Ballesteros just a little tardy pulling the trigger.
Cubs up 4-1, 2 away, but men at second and third. Carson Kelly now at the plate. 4-1 Cubs here in the fifth. The pitch. Kelly takes a ball up high, a fastball that missed. Kelly's 1 for 2 with an RBI single in the fourth. That broke a 1-all tie. Gave the Cubs the lead. Richards works third base side of the rubber. Here's the pitch. Kelly bounces one to third. Fielded wide of the bag to his left by Vargas. Sudden throw to first in time to get Kelly. That's out number 3. But a productive top of the fifth for the Cubs. They scored twice and now have a 4-1 lead over the White Sox. Middle 5 on the score.
The newfangled idea of the time was night games, and teams thought that the shiny material of satin would reflect the stadium lights better. But satin comes with all kinds of issues. Despite all its drawbacks, this shiny material really does create a show-stopping jersey.
Gosh, we've gone to Sea Dogs games since we were kids.
I've been coming to see the Sea Dogs for the last 30 years. Great experience.
Everybody here is just bends over backwards to help people out and wish the world was like it is right here at the ballpark.
We've always wanted to be more than just a baseball team. We want to be strong, active, contributing members of the community. And I think that effort is seen by the people and the fans, and they want to support that effort.
Welcome back to Cincinnati. Gino swung on, crushed, high, deep, left field. There it goes. Goodbye. Into the second deck. A 3-run go-ahead blast.
And Eugenio Suarez to the second deck. And he thunders the Reds ahead 3-2.
Well, there was absolutely no doubt about that one right there. 431 feet for Suarez. That ball was smashed.
The Cubs. Learn more at jameshardy.com.
Bottom 5 at the rate. Cubs lead the White Sox 4-1. Hey, the Cubs are teaming up with Advocate Healthcare and other partners for Cubs for a Cure, a multi-day fundraiser supporting the fight against cancer. Tune in to 104.3 FM. The Score's 24-hour radiothon simulcast on Marquee starting May 21st, and join us at Wrigley Field May 23rd to help support the cause. Visit Cubs.com/Cubs for a Cure for more information. Zach?
Judson, thank you. Chase Mydroth looks at a fastball high and inside for ball 1 to begin the bottom of the 5th inning. Cubs with a 4-1 lead over the White Sox. Mydroth shows bunt and ends up taking a strike from Cabrera. Fastball right down the middle, 1-1 the count. Now the pitch. Mydroth swings and misses. Took a hefty cut at a slider, 1-2.
Pretty good pitch. Bottom kind of dropped out of that last pitch. Mydroth with a big swing, but right over the top of it.
Now the 1-2. Pop fly, right side, foul territory, giving chase Suzuki, but this one's in the stands. It looked like he didn't see that there was a sidewall and a netting and just tried to run right through it.
Sometimes you get caught up in, right now, too, it's twilight, so you have to do a very good job of tracking the ball in the sky.
Mydroth check swing at a pitch low, on appeal no swing, says Brian O'Nora at first, count 2-2.
Yes, it's one of those periods of time where, as an outfielder, you're running after a ball for a ways. You can't take your eye off the ball. You take your eye down to look where you're at on the field, look up, and you're going to lose the ball.
The 2-2. Low and outside. Mydroth has worked a full count. And the sidewall here at right field is very low.
Yeah, it is. About knee high. Yeah.
Now the payoff pitch. Low and outside. Ball 4. Mydroth draws a leadoff walk here in the 5th for the White Sox. 4-1 Cubs. It'll bring up Andrew Benintendi.
Well, Cabrera kept going to that slider and just couldn't get it into the zone. So leadoff walk. See if he can induce a little ground ball from Benintendi.
Benintendi hitting at .216 on the year. 0 for 1 tonight. And the pitch. Outside. 1-0. Carson Kelly, the go-ahead RBI single for the Cubs in the 4th. They padded the lead with 2 more runs in the top half of the 5th as Benintendi takes a ball low, a changeup that missed. It's now 2-0. Michael Busch and Seiya Suzuki both with ribby doubles in the top half of this frame. Mydroth with good speed at first, being held on by Busch. Long set, Cabrera deals. Called strike fastball from Cabrera. 2-1 on Benintendi.
Good two-seamer in right under the hands of Benintendi. That's one of the best two-seamers Cabrera's thrown tonight.
A long set. Now the 2-1. A bouncing ball, foul off to the right. Just foul past a diving bush in front of the bag.
First base umpire, a long-time umpire, Brian O'Nora on that one. Sure, Brian's getting an earful from the Sox fans down that first base line.
So with 2 strikes, now the Cubs vacate the third base position. Bregman playing where shortstop normally would, and up the middle, it's Swanson to the left of the second base bag. The pitch is low to Benintendi, a curveball that missed. Full count. No one out here in the bottom of the 5th. Cubs up 4-1. Meidroth at first. He goes. The payoff pitch is fouled out of play off to the left by Benintendi.
Now, Meidroth, they're trying to keep guys in motion. It's kind of the thing the White Sox have done. Everybody has been active on the bases, trying to take the extra 90 feet. That is another thing they have talked about. Trying to play good, hard, scrappy type baseball.
Meidroth goes again, and this one pulled on the ground, foul by Benintendi to the right. Count remains 3-2.
He's getting his sprints in.
So you're laughing now that you're up here. If you were him, you wouldn't be too happy. It's a lot of work.
Yeah, no, I've had it happen 4 times where I've ran to second, and finally you just throw up your arms like, hit it fair, will you?
So here we go again. Count 3-2. Meidroth at first. No one out. Bottom of the 5th. Is Meidroth going to go? He doesn't. The pitch. High and outside, ball 4. So back-to-back walks issued by Cabrera. First to Meidroth, now to Benintendi. And the White Sox are threatening here in the bottom of the 5th inning. No one out. And Jared Kelnick due up. He represents the tying run. So Tommy Hotovy, the Cubs pitching coach, will head out to the mound.
Tommy's going to take a long, slow walk out to the mound and let the Cubs bullpen kind of get themselves figured out. I got to believe they're going to get somebody up. Cabrera at 73 pitches. He's been cruising along pretty good, but now back-to-back walks to start this bottom of the 5th inning. See some guys walking around down there in that Cubs bullpen.
Laz Diaz breaks up the mound meeting, and Tommy Hotovy wearing the olive cap. Olive socks with the Cubs uniform tonight for Armed Forces Weekend around our country in Major League Baseball. Jared Kelnick digs in. Men at first and second for the White Sox. No one out. Bottom 5. The pitch. Kelnick looks at a ball low and inside. A curve that missed. 1-0. Bregman playing in, wide of third. Swanson up the middle to the left of second base. The pitch by Cabrera. Kelnick hits a high fly ball to left. Happ drifts back, angling toward the line. On the track, makes the catch. Both runners tag in advance.
Now this is one of those balls that's hit and it gets up in that wind, and Ian trying to just hold his ground. It's right at the warning track, not close to the wall, right at the front edge of the warning track. And it's not an easy catch. We're at twilight, a lot of wind. Ian makes the catch. There's really not much he could do. He threw to third, but even if he throws to second, both guys are going to advance 90 feet.
Tristan Peters at the plate with men at second and third and one away. The pitch inside. 1-0. First out sponsored by Xfinity. Reliable Wi-Fi at one price for 5 years. Xfinity. Imagine that. Bregman playing in, wide of third. Everyone else on the infield is back. And it's second and third. 1-0 delivery is low to Peters. 2-0.
Bushy was playing about halfway, and the Cubs dugout pushed him back. Cubs with a 4-1 lead here in the 5th. Trying to stay out of a bigger inning. keeping the infield back.
Peters 0 for 1 with a flyout. Righty-lefty match up the pitch. Peters bounces one on the right side. Fielded by Horner. Throws to first in time to get Peters 2 away. Coming in to score on the play, Mydroff. Moving to third, Benintendi. It's now 4-2 Cubs over the Sox here in the 5th.
Well, Peters, that was an at-bat that he just kind of gave up to drive in the run. That was no doubt. He looked to hook this ball on the ground and hit a ground ball to Nico to drive in the second run of the game.
So Benintendi at third, 2 away. The catcher, Drew Romo, at the plate. He swings and misses at a change from Cabrera. 0-1. Romo, a left-handed batter. Hit a comebacker to Cabrera his first time up. And the 0-1. In the dirt, nicely blocked by Kelly. Benintendi stays at third. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Yeah, that's a big block. That Cabrera spiked this changeup. It bounced well in front of home plate. It's one of those blocks that saved the run. Those are the plays they don't get to the box score, but boy, I tell you what, everybody on the bench, they all appreciate that play by Kelly.
The 1-1. Cabrera misses with a curveball up high. 2-1 the count on Romo. Just off the outside as well. Benintendi at third base with 2 down here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Cubs up 4-2. Cabrera now at 81 pitches tonight. Cabrera sets above the belt. High leg kick and pitch. Romo swings and lines one to deep right. Suzuki races over. It's over his head and one hops the wall. Coming in to score is Benintendi, and cruising into second base with an RBI double, Drew Romo. It's a 1-run game. Cubs 4, White Sox 3 here in the 5th.
Well, this ball well struck. Suzuki goes straight across. It's a changeup in the middle of the plate, about knee high. Suzuki goes across trying to make the play, leaps in the gap and just can't quite get to it as it one hops the wall and right to drive in the third run.
So both of those leadoff walks hurting Cabrera here in the 5th, and the tying run Romo now at second base with 2 away. The batter, Sam Antonacci, left-handed hitter against the righty Cabrera. The pitch is low. Missed with a curveball, 1-0. Antonacci is 0 for 2 with a couple of groundouts, hitting at 280 on the year. Cabrera delivers. Antonacci, a big swing and a miss at a slider, 1-1. The crowd beginning to make a lot more noise than we've heard most of the ball game.
Yeah, we knew they were going to get into the game. If there was something good happened for the White Sox. Some are having a little issue with the PitchCom device. Cabrera's not hearing it. Crowd getting pretty loud here at right field, that's for sure.
Cabrera is making the kind of motion that says, hey, the battery isn't working. Someone race into the clubhouse and give me a new audio device so I can listen to the pitches from the catcher Carson Kelly. Now Cabrera testing out the new device.
Now the White Sox playing good baseball. The Cubs have played good for the whole first quarter of the season. Yeah, and you knew this was going to be one of them series. It's kind of gone back and forth there a little bit. And I look around the stadium, and this is an absolutely packed house here at right field.
So we're ready for the resumption of play. Man at second base, 2 away. 1-1 the count on Antonacci. Cabrera delivers. Antonacci swings, and it's hit foul in the air, out of play, off to the left.
Antonacci, a guy playing left field. The White Sox, he is a natural second baseman, but they're playing him in left. He's obviously athletic enough to do it. They really want his bat in the lineup.
He's from Springfield. Here's the 1-2. Up high to Antonacci, 2-2 the count. Antonacci, 23 years old. Played his college ball at Coastal Carolina. After after a terrific high school career at Sacred Heart Griffin in Springfield. The pitch is low. So Antonacci has now worked a full count against Cabrera. Tying run at second base in Romo. Cubs up 4-3 with 2 down here on the bottom of the 5th inning. Big spot. Cabrera sets at the belt. Here's the pitch. Up high, ball 4. Third walk issued by Cabrera here in this 5th inning.
And that walk will bring out Craig Counsell, and Cabrera not real happy, but he's not happy with himself. He knows 3 walks in this inning. 2 of them have scored already, and now you got man on first, and you just can't close it out. And he is going to come out of the game.
The tying and go-ahead runs are on base for the White Sox here in the bottom of the 5th inning. 2 down, Cubs.
I'm gonna go check out Food Truck Row. So, what did you guys get today?
Philly cheesesteaks.
Both of you got the same thing. Are they that good?
Oh, yeah.
Got a hot dog and some fries.
Just kind of basic ballpark.
Chicken bacon sandwich.
Uh-huh.
Philly cheesesteak.
Okay.
And some
crinkle cut fries.
Okay, where are you guys from?
We're from Dallas.
Dallas. That's what's fun about baseball. It brings different regions together, not just the ball and glove and bat, but what we're eating.
They say it's a game of numbers, pero el flow es completamente otra ciencia. Esto es flow mayor.
Cubs holding on to a 1-run lead, 4-3 over the White Sox. Rollison replacing the starter Edward Cabrera. And all he has to do is face the White Sox slugger, Munetaka Murakami. He's 1 for 2 tonight with a single and a strikeout. Lefty-lefty matchup as Rollison sets up high, looks at second, works his motion and deals. Up high to Murakami. 1-0.
The thing you got to stay away from is that breaking ball that stays on the plate, middle or inner half, down.
White Sox have already scored twice in this frame. Here comes the 1-0. Up high to Murakami. 2-0. A breaking ball that missed.
Tried high gas, and then that slider just kind of slipped out of the hand. Rollison way up high.
Rollison in his 9th game with the Cubs, 3-0 with a 3.38 ERA. He sets above the belt, looks at second, works his motion and deals. Murakami bounces one softly back to the mound, fielded by Rollison. He whirls and throws to first in time to get Murakami out number 3. White Sox score 2 but leave 2. We head to inning number 6. It's the Cubs with a 4-3 lead over the Sox on the score in the Northwestern Medicine Cubs Radio Network.
Hey Cubs fans, it's Dancy Swanson. Listen to every game here on the Chicago.
Berger lines it to center. Waldy's got it! Ryan Waldschmidt with a diving catch in left center.
What a fantastic play by Ryan Waldschmidt.
That's crushed. Left field, a no doubter. It's on its way. It is gone. Over the Crawford boxes, off the wall. Julio.
That was 106 off the bat. What a night for Andres Jimenez. That is the first 2 home run game of Andres Jimenez's Major League career.
How about this? 5 strikeouts in a row for Weathers. Swing and a miss. That's the 9th strikeout for Ryan Weathers. Quite an outing for Ryan Weathers. Had a no-hitter going into the inning.
He swings away, launches a ball down the line. Fair ball. Goodbye, 3-run homer.
How about you? Kobe Mayo, huh? Boy, is he fired up, and that had to feel good, folks.
May 25th, when you visit your locally owned Benjamin Moore store. Benjamin Moore's premium quality all-weather exterior paints and stains help protect and provide luxurious results so you can give your outdoor space a fresh new look for the season. Visit BenjaminMoore.com to find a locally owned retailer near you. Benjamin Moore, official paint of the Chicago Cubs.
Save time every time for a great haircut. Just download the Great Clips app or check in online at greatclips.com. Great Clips. It's gonna be great.
4-3 ball game. Cubs lead the White Sox as we make our way to the top of the sixth inning. Pico Armstrong will start the Cubs off. Who's on deck? Sponsored by TimberTech Decking and Railing. Everything wood should be. Visit TimberTech.com. Here's Zach and Coon.
Judson, thank you. There's a new man on the mound for the White Sox. Right-hander Grant Taylor takes over. 24 years old, 1-0 with a 2.11 ERA in 16 games for the Sox this season. Cubs with a 4-3 lead. Pete Crow Armstrong digs in, left-handed batter. Works his motion. Here's the pitch. And PCA swings and dribbles one foul off to the left. That breaks. A lot of stuff moving around on that strike, going one.
Yeah, a little off-speed pitch, and Pete cues this one right off the end of the bat and broke the top of the bat where the bat is cupped.
So now he's got a new bat. It's a dark brown shade. Here's the 0-1. And he dribbles a foul off to the right. In the hole, 0-2. Pitching changes by Cubs opponents are sponsored by Sloan, the official water efficiency partner of the Chicago Cubs and leader in smart water and commercial restroom solutions. Learn more at sloan.com. Here's the 0-2 in the dirt.
That ball bounced 3 feet in front of home plate. See what's on tap here in the sixth inning. Sponsored by Flight by Yingling, the next generation light beer. And what's on tap? Cubs need some more runs. They're just up 4-3 now after the last inning.
Another pitch in the dirt, so 2-2 the count with Crow Armstrong at the plate. He's 0-2 today. Struck out and reached first on a wild pitch and then reached on a fielder's choice. Here's the 2-2. Fouled out of play off to the left by PCA.
It was a good swing. Pete had a pitch to hit. Put a good swing on it just underneath.
4-3 Cubs over the White Sox. The opener of this three-game set on the south side. The 2-2. An awkward swing and miss. Strike 3. Fastball from Taylor. One away.
Big fastball by Taylor. It's he's got a great arm. That pitch at 99 miles an hour. And when you do get the one pitch, when guys throw this hard, and we see this with Palencia and some other guys, when guys throwing bullets like this, when you get a pitch to hit, you got to put it in play.
Dansby Swanson at the plate, and he looks at a slider that tips off the glove of Romo and rolls all the way to the backstop.
And that's real easy to say from here. Put the 99 mile an hour fastball in play. Sometimes you just go, good luck. But if you're going to be successful, you gotta hit that one pitch that he gives you to hit. Pete put a good swing on one and just fouled it back, and then guy makes a couple good nasty pitches against it.
Swanson looks at a ball low. Here's the 2-0. A big swing and a miss and a blazing 99 mile per hour fastball from Grant Taylor.
Yeah, there's nothing fancy about this. This is just rear back and gas right down the middle. And Dansby just a little bit of an upshoot swing, just a little tardy.
Now the 2-1. Low and outside. There was a slider that missed by Taylor. So the count is 3-1. And we talked about missing that one pitch that you get in an at-bat. It's been the issue for the Cubs during the last 5 games. The pitch, Swanson fouls it out of play. Upper deck off to the right behind home plate.
Yeah, when your team and when you are going good, you get that pitch, you whistle one somewhere, hit it out of the park, you do something really good with it. When your team is struggling on offense, you're like, oh, he had a great swing. Foul ball. Yeah. Great swing. Fouled it back. Those balls, they just don't get put in play.
Taylor's ready. Here comes the payoff pitch to Swanson. Swing and a miss. Strike three. Zip the fastball by him. 2 away.
Yeah, you get behind, and then guys throwing this hard, they can elevate that heater. And this ball just above the belt, maybe just a touch. But it's hard to catch up with that fastball when it's up above the belt.
2 away, top 6. Cubs 4, White Sox 3. Nico Horner will stand in. He's 1 for 3 today with a single and a run scored. So entering play tonight, Cubs had scored 5 total runs on 19 hits in their previous 5 games. The pitch to Horner in their first strike, a slider that spins into the zone. 0-1 the count. Tonight, the Cubs with 4 runs on 8 hits. Taylor deals, Horner swings and fouls it back into the stands. 0-2.
Back-to-back sliders to Nico.
Righty-righty matchup. Now the 0-2. And a fly ball hit to right center field. Racing over is Peters, and he makes a running catch. Crisscrossing in front of the right fielder, Kelnick, for out number 3. Cubs go down in order in the top of the 6th. Middle 6. Cubs 4, Sox 3 on the score.
Yeah, you see Postgame's Car Shield numbers. An opposing average of 174. Similar strikeout to walks. Just to not give any free passes.
And there's strikeout number 1.
See a good fastball. Late movement. It's blown past right there by Perdomo at the top of the zone.
He gets another strikeout. That's 5, 1 away in the 8th inning.
That was such a big strikeout from Postgame.
Big payoff pitch. Foul tip, struck him out.
Went with the changeup.
Keane strikes out Nolan Arenado. 2 away.
Just break out the 3-2 changeup on you.
3-2. He got him. Paul Skeens strikes out the 3 in a row in the 8th. It's still 1-0.
Swing and a miss, struck him out. Skeens strikes out this side in the 8th.
They say it's a game of numbers, pero el flow es completamente otra ciencia. Mi trabajo es sencillo, cachar ese ritmo que solo nuestra gente tira y regarlo por toda la temporada. Flow mayor is where all those rhythms meet. Porque el flow no es de un solo jugador, es de un corillo entero que prende estadio. De San Diego a Santo Domingo y cada parada en el camino. Cuando estamos activos, la liga sube de nivel. Esto es Flow Mayor.
This date in baseball history is brought to you by villageofbedfordpark.com. It's time to make history for your business in Bedford Park. We are in the bottom of the 6th inning here on the south side. Cubs leading the White Sox 4-3. Batter is Miguel Vargas. He swings at the first pitch from Ryan Rollison, and this one leaves the yard. Gone to the right field corner. And it's a tie ball game. Solo shot the other way by Miguel Vargas. 4-4 Cubs and Sox here in the 6th.
Well, going into this ball game, we were talking right as we were going, into the game. I said, this is a great park and the ball carries here. We were talking, the wind is blowing away like it's blowing in from right field. I told you, the ball carries opposite of what the flags do. That ball just carried right out of the ballpark down the right field line.
So a brand new game, 4-4 Cubs and Sox with no one out here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Now the batter is Colson Montgomery, and he loops one for a base hit in a left center field. Earl Armstrong quickly retrieves the ball to get it back to the infield. So back-to-back hits for the White Sox to begin the 6th against left-hander Ryan Rollison. First, the home run by Vargas to tie it. And now Montgomery the single the other way. And he represents the go-ahead run at first base. Chase Mydroth at the plate. Crowd getting loud. Here's the pitch. Called strike, fastball at the top of the zone. big hole on the right side of the infield with Bush holding on Montgomery. Horner up the middle just to the right of second. Rolison deals. Outside, 1-1. Rolison entered the game with 2 away in the 5th, facing a jam. And got Murakami to ground out. Here's the 1-1. In the dirt, blocked by Kelly. Can't find the ball. It's to his left, and taking second on the play, Montgomery.
It's a good block by Kelly, and then the ball goes through the legs of the hitter and behind him, and Carson can't see the ball. And it ends up just rolling in behind the hitter. There's nothing you can do if you're Kelly. Mydroff does not have to get out of the way or do anything other than just stand there.
Rolison misses up high with a fastball. It's now 3-1 with Mydroff at the plate. The go-ahead run, Montgomery at second base. No one out here in the last of the 6th. 4-4 game. Rolison looks at second. High leg kick and pitch. And he misses high and outside, ball 4. The White Sox continue to apply pressure. Mydroff draws the walk. Now men at first and second with no one out. And Andrew Benintendi is due up.
And here comes Craig Counsell.
Randall Grichuk is in the on-deck circle. So Craig Counsell is going to make the pitching change and remove Rolison from the game. Pitching changes by the Cubs are sponsored by James Hardy Building Products, siding with the Cubs. Tie game, Cubs 4, White Sox 4, and the White Sox threatening with men at first and second here in the last of the 6th, and no one out. This is the score and the Northwestern Medicine.
All your favorite games from MLB Play are back, bigger, bolder, and better than ever. Test your skills with daily puzzles like MLB Pickle, the Ultimate Mystery Player Challenge, and Immaculate Grip, where stats and strategy collide. Then in Spinball, build your roster, take on your friends, and compete for the weekly prize. Or be the first to beat the streak and hit your way to the $5.6 million jackpot. Plus, the all-new Daily Walk-Off. Lock in your players by category for the walk-off win. The game's official home for games is MLB Play. Only on the MLB app and MLB.com.
We know what happened in 2014.
A World Series win for the San Francisco Giants.
Look at how clean that is. The gold, I don't know if you guys know what the gold means, but the gold means you are the World Series champions from the year before. But it's the honor of a lifetime, getting to win back-to-back World Series championships with 2 different teams.
Riley Green looking to add on and maybe take a lead. Riley Green, fly ball right center field. This one's deep. Watch it fly. Gone. How about it? Riley Green's first of the postseason delivers a 4-3 lead for the Tigers in the 6th.
Wow, just stayed on that breaking ball. Man, did he hammer that thing. That was 3/4 of the way up.
For Andrew Benintendi. Miguel Vargas hit a solo shot to the right field corner to begin the frame, tie up the ball game. Now the White Sox looking to take the lead. Grichuk digs in against Thornton, who's pitched in 3 games, 1-0 with the Cubs. He's not allowed an earned run. Thornton works third base side of the rubber. The pitch, low and outside, 1-0.
First pitch cutter, 94 miles an hour, but Kelly did a nice job of ball landed in the left-handed batter's box.
Now Kelly heads out to the mound to have a conversation with Thornton. 4-4 game, Cubs and Sox with men at first and second for the White Sox. And no one out here in the last of the 6th.
Boy, actually, that was a cross-up. I thought, it was kind of blocked out as he catches the ball. But I think they just got crossed up.
Now the 1-0. Low and outside. 2 balls and no strikes. Another cutter from Thornton. Montgomery at second, Mydroth at first. The pitch. Grichuk swings and pops it foul out of play, just to the right of us. 2-1.
Seen Grichuk through the years. Obviously, if you're a Cub fan, you've seen him in St. Louis.
He started the year with the Yankees. The pitch. Grichuk swings and misses. A breaking ball from Thornton. So the count is 2-2. Seems like Grichuk has played for nearly every team in the majors. Well traveled. The 2-2. Up high. Grichuk has worked a full count. Thornton holds the ball behind his back, puts it in the glove, sets at the belt. Men at first and second, no one out. The payoff pitch. Grichuk hits a one-hopper, fielded by Horner behind the back to second for one. Swanson running, fakes a running throw to first. Grichuk safe there, one away, advancing to third on the play, Montgomery.
Now, Dansby trying to just fake like he's going to turn the double play. There's no chance. Grichuk runs well. And pump the throw to first and trying to go back door to throw the ball back to third, but no play at third base. Montgomery holds his ground at the bag.
So Grichuk reaches on the fielder's choice. One down, men at the corners. The batter, Jared Kelnick. He looks at a fastball for a strike, 0-1. First out, sponsored by Xfinity. Reliable Wi-Fi at one price for 5 years. Xfinity, imagine that. The go-ahead run, Montgomery is at third. Grichuk at first. 4-4 game, one down. The pitch. Swing and a miss by Kelnick. Another blazing fastball from Thornton. 0-2.
Kelnick very tardy on that last heater.
Kelnick's 0 for 2. Strikeout and a flyout. Left-handed batter against the right-hander Thornton. And the pitch. Pop foul out of play above our heads to the left. The first out, sponsored by Xfinity. Reliable Wi-Fi at one price for 5 years. Xfinity, imagine that. 0-2 the count. The pitch. Low. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Thornton sets up high. Here's the 1-2. Called strike 3. A breaking ball that froze Kelnick. 2 away.
Big pitch for Thornton and the Cubs. This is a breaking ball. Starts out away and ends up. This is middle when it ends up. And just locks Kelnick up. He does not offer it at all. It really did lock him up. Right-handed breaking ball to the left-handed hitter for strike 3.
Huge strikeout. Let's see if Thornton can work out of the jam here.
You got to watch the bunt here with Peters.
A pitch to Tristan Peters. Misses. It was a fastball from Thornton.
You got speed at third base in Montgomery. Peters obviously runs well. I would think he would probably try to pull this bunt with him if he lays one down.
Bregman playing in wide of third. The pitch. Called strike. Another fastball from Thornton. So the count is 1-1 with Peters at the plate. 4-4 game, 2 away, bottom of the 6th inning.
Now Bregman still in, but moves off the line a little farther.
The pitch. Peters, check swing. Did he go around? No. On appeal, says the third base umpire, Eric Backus. It's a curveball low and outside. So the count is 2-1. Thornton peers in, gets the sign from Kelly, sets at the belt. Here's the 2-1. Tap foul off to the right. 2-2 now on Peters. Montgomery at third. Grichuk at first. 2-2 the count on the batter Peters, and now time called by Peters. Bregman still playing in wide of third. Near the edge of the infield grass. long set. Thornton's 2-2. And a line drive hit to right center field. Playable for Suzuki. Makes the catch for out number 3. So Thornton gets the Cubs out of the jam. But Vargas ties up the game with the solo shot the other way. 4-4. Cubs and...
All your favorite games from MLB Play are back. Bigger, bolder, and better than ever. Test your skills with daily puzzles like MLB Pickle, the Ultimate Mystery Player Challenge, and Immaculate Grip, where stats and strategy collide. Then in Spinball, build your roster, take on your friends, and compete for the weekly prize. Or be the first to beat the streak and hit your way to the $5.6 million jackpot. Plus, the all-new Daily Walk-Off. Lock in your players by category for the walk-off win. The game's official home for games is MLB Play. Only on the MLB app and MLB.com.
Just when we think we've seen it all, baseball gives us something new to talk about.
Splits two defenders and makes a great grab.
The kick is good. Right through the flying uprights. Whoa, went down inside his chest protector.
That's not a catch? Make way for Batman.
People would love this if we did Lady and the Tramp.
Ronald Acuna Jr. pouring dirt into Ozzie Albies' glove. He flips the entire glove to first base.
Fast and furious and dead on.
Now let's dive into this week's top plays.
Is pulled and a leaping grab by Shoebake. Carson Bench with a pulchritudinous play.
Moving fast toward big league stardom.
Randy Rosarena! Superman catch! What a leaping grab by Quan.
And those 39-year-old legs are still cooking.
Oh, are you kidding me, Petey? Help it! Oh, hey now, hey now. What a play by Ryan McMahon.
How about that?
COLLOPY at villageofbedfordpark.com.
Tight game here on the south side, the opener of the 3-game set. Cubs 4, White Sox 4. Top of the 7th, Michael Busch at the plate. New man on the mound for the White Sox, left-hander Brian Hudson. Time called by the home plate umpire Laz Diaz. Some say Busch called time, stepped out of the box, now he's back in. All right, we're ready for the resumption of play. Hudson deals and misses low and outside to begin the 7th. 1-0 the count with Busch at the plate. Busch is 1 for 3 tonight with an RBI double. Lefty-lefty matchup as Hudson works on the first base side of the rubber. Side armor works his motion. And a called strike. 1-1. Fastball at 91 miles per hour right down the middle. Busch waits for the 1-1. Here it comes. He swings, breaks his bat, loops one to the second baseman, Mydroth, who makes the catch of the soft liner. 1 away.
Didn't look like Bushy hit that ball all that bad. The bat just splintered in half up the barrel, not at the handle where it breaks in half. It splinters straight up the barrel. Kind of an odd way, but we've seen that before.
Alex Bregman at the plate. Backs out of the way of a slow-moving breaking ball that almost hit him in the foot. 1-0.
We'd always say when a bat broke like that, it had internal damage before I went to home plate.
Did you get the stethoscope out and start checking?
It's already dead. He's gone.
Next. Here's the 1-0. Called strike fastball to Bregman.
And that one did not die a hero, that's for sure.
Very fitting of you to say he gone here on the south side.
Yeah, right.
That's a nice tribute. Now the 1-1. Bregman grounds one up the middle and through for a base hit. Second hit of the ball game for Bregman. It comes with 1 away here in the top of the 7th. He represents the go-ahead run. 4-4 game, Cubs and Sox. And it'll bring up the cleanup man, Ian Happ.
Now, Bregman's been on time tonight, all night. This ball, he gets on top of a little rollover, hard ground ball back through the middle. But he singled in the first, 2 deep flyouts right to the wall in left center, and now another single. That's a great sign for the Cubs. Bregman starting to heat up.
Happ switch hitter batting for the right side. Hudson deals, Happ swings, and it's a pop fly. Shallow right, angling toward the line is Kelnick. He makes the catch. 2 away. As Happ flies out. Here comes Seiya Suzuki. By the way, Happ is the cleanup man tonight for the Cubs. And cleanup hitters are sponsored by Chicagoland's appliance leader, Grand Appliance. Get your all-star KitchenAid kitchen today at grandappliance.com. So now the batter is Seiya Suzuki with Bregman at first and 2 down here in the 7th. The pitch in there for strike.
Well, this should be a good matchup for Suzuki. See if Suzuki can get a pitch in that inner half. The first one was down and in for a strike. He gets the ball inner half. He can blast one here. That'd pick up the Cubs.
The 0-1. Suzuki with a check swing flinch as he takes a strike, 0-2.
All these pitches inside to Seiya, he's not thinking they're strikes. He's got to be getting a lot of movement with his head to where he's not picking the ball up out of the pitcher's hand.
Hudson deals the 0-2, grounded foul off to the right. Pitching changes by Cubs opponents are sponsored by Sloan, the official water efficiency partner of the Chicago Cubs and leader in smart water and commercial restroom solutions. Learn more at sloan.com. Seiya had an RBI double his last time up. 4-4 game, 2 down, top 7, man at first. The 0-2. High and outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Seiya on the year hitting at 265. Hudson sets above the belt, looks at first and deals. Seiya lines one up the middle. It drops in for a base hit in front of a charging Peters.
That was a good swing by Suzuki. You guys watch it closely. He got the leg kick, got the foot down early, and then no movement with the head going forward, and he was right on that pitch inside and hammered it right back through the middle.
So now the Cubs are threatening with 2 down. They've got men at first and second. Moises Ballesteros due up, but the Cubs are sending a pinch hitter to the plate. The right-handed hitting Matt Shaw to face the left-hander Hudson.
Nobody warming up in the White Sox bullpen, so this is what it is. Obviously, Craig Counsell seeing that. Matt Shaw's had a lot of success against left-handed pitching. 7th inning, can a game on the line type at bat. See if Matty Shaw can do some damage.
Shaw on the year is hitting at 256. The go-ahead run, Alex Bregman is at second base. Seiya Suzuki at first. 4-4 game, 2 down, top 7. Shaw digs in. Hits out of a crouch, stands deep in the box. The left-hander Hudson sets at the belt. High leg kick and pitch. Oh, and it hits Shaw. Got him with a breaking ball. And now the Cubs have the bases loaded with 2 away.
Boy, very odd turn of events there. That's just a slider that he held on to way too long. And it hits Matty Shaw in the back thigh. So very odd.
Big spot in the game with 2 away here in the top of the 7th. 4-4 game. Cubs and White Sox. Carson Kelly at the plate. 1 for 3 tonight with an RBI single. Right-handed batter against the left-hander Hudson. The pitch. Called strike. Fastball. 0-1.
It looked like a little running two-seamer running away.
Hudson. High leg kick and pitch. Low and inside. He missed with a fastball. The count is 1-1. Bases loaded for the Cubs. 2 away. Kelly waits for the 1-1. Here it comes. He swings and hits a high fly ball. Foul territory off to the right. It slices out of play. Did not have home run distance. 1-2. Bregman at third base for the Cubs. Suzuki at second. Shaw at first. 2 down, top 7. Carson Kelly trying to give the Cubs the lead. It's a 4-4 ball game here on the south side against the White Sox. The pitch. Kelly fouls it away off to the right.
Well, he got a pitch to hit there. High fastball, top of the zone. He put a good swing on it, just fouled it back.
Kelly, a .286 batting average. Hudson peers in, acknowledges the sign from his catcher, Romo. Straightens up, sets above the belt, works his motion and deals. Kelly hits a ground ball off the glove of Vargas behind third, and the Cubs take the lead. Bregman scores. Bases remain loaded, and it's now 5-4. Cubs over the Sox here in the 7th.
Kelly gets his pitch inside and hits it right down the third base line. It goes right over the third base bag, and unable to make the play, and the ball jumps up and hits Vargas in the knee. That's the only thing that kept it in the infield. He did not get leather on it, and the Cubs scored the 5th run.
So Kelly credited with an RBI single. Cubs have the lead, 5-4 over the Sox here in the 7th. 2 away. Pete Crow Armstrong at the plate and looks at the ball low and outside. PCA is 0 for 3 today.
I'd be shocked if he gets a pitch inside. See if he can drive this ball to left center.
0-1-0. That one missed. A fastball, and the White Sox are going to challenge.
ABS challenges instant replays. That ball strike challenge sponsored by Northwestern Medicine. And it's down.
Yep. So it's a ball. White Sox lose one of their challenges. And Pete Crow Armstrong at the plate with a 2-0 count.
This ball could go a long way. Pete's aggressive. He gets a fastball in the middle. He could blast this one.
2-0 the count. Bases loaded. Here's the pitch. Crow Armstrong pops it up behind the plate. And this one's in the stands. 2-1.
He got a pitch to hit. He's just, it's one of those things. He's just underneath a little bit, and that ball, he's on it, but just kind of slicing underneath it.
And that ball is right down the middle, near the bottom of the zone. 2-1 the count. Crowd going crazy here on the south side. The pitch. Swing and a miss. 2-2. Fastball. Suzuki at third, Shaw at second, Kelly at first.
Think the crowd's into this game?
Here's the 2-2. Crow Armstrong line drive, base hit to right. Suzuki scores, rounding third, racing home Shaw. The throw is in time. Tag applied by Romo, and Shaw is out at the plate. Craig Counsell saying, hold on here. We'll see if the Cubs challenge this play. As of right now, the Cubs have a 6-4 lead, and the Cubs will not challenge. RBI single for Pete Crow Armstrong, and then Shaw out at the plate, 9-2.
Pop quiz. How do you go from Captain Clutch to the Iron Horse through a milestone and a marathon? The answer is on Hall of Fame Connections.
The captain, Derek Sanderson Jeter, is one of the winningest players in Major League history. He was wearing these very batting gloves when he notched one of those most memorable hits, the 3,000th of his career.
Are we supposed to spit in them like they do the batting gloves?
No spitting. This is a non-spitting museum.
3,000! History with an exclamation point!
He's just the second player in history whose 3,000th hit was a home run. The first was a former teammate from the Yankees' 1996 World Series championship team. But before he began his Cooperstown-bound career, Boggs would cross paths with another future Hall of Famer. September 6, 1995, the Iron Man played his 2,131st consecutive game, surpassing the unbreakable record of the Iron Horse.
Now that's how you pass the torch. Catch every episode of Hall of Fame Connections on MLB.tv and discover your own connections to the game at baseballhall.org.
Puedes ser el dueño de grandes momentos del béisbol. MLB Auction te permite participar en la subasta de bates, bolas y jerseys autografiados, con artículos de tus equipos de grandes ligas favoritos, leyendas y jugadores. Visita auctions.mlb.com.
Clips app or check in online at greatclips.com. Great Clips. It's gonna be great.
6-4 Cubs over the White Sox as we begin the bottom of the 7th inning here on the south side. Trent Thornton deals, and Drew Romo looks at a ball. 1-0 the count.
Well, I figured out the only thing that the Cubs and White Sox fans here at right field agree upon today is singing the 7th inning stretch.
Slow-moving tapper to second, fielded belt high by Nico. His throw to first is in time. Romo is retired. One away here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Cubs up 6-4. Cubs taking the lead, breaking a 4-all tie with 2 runs in the top half of the 7th inning. Carson Kelly with an infield RBI single off of Miguel Vargas to put the Cubs ahead, and then moments later, Pete Crow Armstrong with another RBI single for some insurance. And both fans know the words. That's important. As Sam Antonacci looks at a fastball at the top of the zone for a strike right along the outside edge from Thornton. The next pitch is fouled back out of play. 0-2. From our vantage point, we have seen a marriage proposal and a few fisticuffs. Is that the right word? I'm not sure.
I have not seen that tonight, and I was hoping we would not see that.
Physical confrontations of some kind, Here's the 0-2. Low and inside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The count on Antonacci. Thornton works on the third base side of the rubber. Sets up high. The kick and pitch. Low to Antonacci. 2-2. We started this in the 6th inning. We never had a chance to complete it. This day in baseball history brought to you by villageofbedfordpark.com. It's time to make history for your business in Bedford Park. May 15th, the date. And the 2-2. This is outside. Antonacci has worked a full count. May 15th, 1941, Joe DiMaggio gets a single against Eddie Smith of the White Sox to begin his 56-game hitting streak. The payoff pitch. Antonacci swings and misses. Strike 3. Thornton gets him with a fastball. And 2 away.
Good high gas from Thornton to get the punch out. 7th inning sponsored by Volvo XC90. Room for everyone, ready for wherever the road takes you.
On this date, Coon, May 15th, 1981, Len Barker pitched the 9th perfect game in the 20th century. The batter, Munetaka Murakami, and he looks at a breaking ball for a strike, 0-1.
And we're coming to you live all season long from the Invesco QQQ broadcast booth, proud partner of the Chicago Cubs.
Now the 0-1 by Thornton. Murakami hits a ground ball. Oh, snagged by Horner on the outfield grass on a hop. Fires to first in time for out number 3. Nico does it again. What a play. We head to the 8th inning. Cubs with a 6-4 lead over the White Sox on the score and the Northwestern Medicine Cubs Radio Network.
Hey Cubs fans, it's Nico Horner. Listen to every game here on the Chicago Cubs Radio Network.
Hey, I'm ordering dinner. I was thinking burgers.
They say it's a game of numbers, pero el flow es completamente otra ciencia. Esto es flow mayor.
We have an animal on the field. Skunk City.
Oh, nobody is going near it. Look at that.
Killer skunk.
Going into the dugout. That'll empty that dugout in a hurry. Look at him go. And the cameraman. Oh, the cameraman to
go. The captain, Derek Sanderson Jeter, is one of the winningest players in Major League history. He was wearing these very batting gloves when he notched one of those most memorable hits the 3,000th of his career.
Are we supposed to spit in them like they do the batting gloves?
No spitting. This is a non-spitting museum.
He's just the second player in history whose 3,000th hit was a home run. The first was a former teammate from the Yankees' 1996 World Series championship team. But before he began his Cooperstown-bound career, Boggs would cross paths with another future Hall of Famer. September 6, 1995, the Iron Man played his 2,000th 131st consecutive game, surpassing the unbreakable record of the Iron Horse.
Now that's how you pass the torch. Go to baseballhall.org to plan your visit to the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown, New York, and catch every episode of Hall of Fame.
The Cubs are up 6-4 here, going into the top of the 8th inning. And this 8th inning is sponsored by Cars for Kids. 877 Cars for Kids. That's Cars of the Kid to donate your car today. And what a play by Nico to end that bottom of the 7th inning. Thornton came off the field. He was a little fired up. Nico with a big smile. Now the Cubs need a couple more runs, eh?
Jordan Hicks, the new man on the mound, Coom for the White Sox, right-handed pitcher. Dansby Swanson at the plate. And the first pitch is a ground ball base hit. Past first, down the right field line. Swanson digging for second. Ball bobbled in right by Kelnick, and Swanson gets to second, standing up.
That's one of those plays. This ball goes down the line, and Dansby's going all the way. Kelnick goes down to the corner to try to field this ball, backhands it, and never fields it clean. So this might be a single and an error or just a double. I would give it a double. He was not going to stop. So to me, I'm writing 2-base hit, and we'll see what happens.
The official score thinking like you. Swanson gets a double. He's at second. The batter now Nico Horner, and he looks at a strike, 0-1.
If Dansby would have taken one step to slow down, it would have been an error. But because he kept going full speed, it's a double.
The 0-1 delivery. Nico looks at strike 2, a fastball.
So this is where Nico would love to drive him in, but you really want to try to get him to third base with nobody out here in the 8th. That third run would be a big one.
Swanson at second. No one out here in the 8th. Horner waits for the 0-2. Hicks delivers. That's low. 1 ball and 2 strikes. We'll get you a station identification after Nico bats. He's 1 for 4 today with a single and a run scored. Horner on the year hitting at .267. Right-handed batter stands deep in the box, hits out of a crouch. Hicks, the right-hander, works on the extreme first base side of the rubber. He looks at second. That's where Swanson is. Now the pitch. And a little slow-moving bouncing ball to second, fielded by Mydroth. Throw to first in time to get Horner, advancing the third on the play, Swanson. Let's pause 10 seconds for stations to identify themselves on the score of the Northwestern Medicine Cubs Radio Network.
Covering the Cubs and all of Chicago's teams, Spiegel and Holmes, afternoons 2 to 6 on 104.3 The Score, and Odyssey Sports Station, WSCR, WSCR-FM, and HD1 Chicago.
Top of the 8th inning, 6-4 Cubs over the White Sox. Man at third in, Swanson infield in, Michael Busch at the plate. Now the pitch. That one squirts past the catcher, Romo, and coming in to score, Swanson. 7-4 Cubs here in the 8th.
That is all set up by 2 things. The hustle of Dansby Swanson continuing to go to second base, and then a great at-bat and a 2-strike swing by Nico to just dribble this ball the other way, give up his AB to get Swanson to third, and then we know Hicks can be erratic, throws a ball to the backstop, Cubs up 7-4.
The next pitch to Busch, misses low and inside, so the count is 2-0. Cubs with a 3-run lead over the White Sox here in the 8th inning. The pitch. Off the outside, 3-0.
That is just good baseball by the Cubs. You know, that's old school. Get a man in scoring position, get him over, get him in. That's just perfect.
The 3-0 delivery. Misses low, ball 4. So Busch draws a 1-out walk here in the 8th. And it's those little things that you talked about that lead to some big things, time and time again.
Nico just had a great at-bat. This guy's throwing absolute bullets on the mound. and he gets that fastball in and just absolutely inside outs this ball and just hits a 15-hopper to second base to get Dansby to third.
Alex Bregman looks at a breaking ball for a strike, 0-1. What a sequence for Nico. Last inning, the great diving stop to get Murakami. The pitch. Bregman takes the ball low, 1-1, and then in this frame, as you mentioned, helping Swanson advance to third, and moments later, Swanson scores on a wild pitch.
Big hole on the right side of the diamond. Hicks throwing right at 100 miles an hour.
Inside to Bregman, 2-1.
Hicks, one of the best arms in baseball, and has for quite some time. His issue is command. He can be a little erratic.
A long set, now the 2-1. Called strike, breaking ball to Bregman, 2-2. Hicks broke into the big leagues in 2018 with St. Louis. Now at the age of 29 with the White Sox. And the 2-2. Low and outside. Bregman's worked the full count.
I don't think he swung in this at bat, right? He hasn't swung, and then Michael Busch did not swing at all in his at bat.
Bregman 2 for 4 tonight with a couple of singles. He waits for the payoff pitch. Hicks kicks and fires. A swing and a tap foul at the plate. Pitching changes by Cubs opponents are sponsored by Sloan, the official water efficiency partner of the Chicago Cubs and leader in smart water and commercial restroom solutions. Learn more at sloan.com. Busch at first, one away. The payoff pitch is low, ball 4. So back-to-back walks. Busch now at second, Bregman at first.
Great at bat by Bregman. Good at bat by Michael Busch. They did not chase. And then the Cubs are 2 men on again. And the White Sox, nobody up in their bullpen. So it's going to be Hicks. So they are going to, I think the White Sox are going to get somebody up. But it's one of those things where one swing at a bat might be too late.
Ian Happ at the plate with men at first and second. The pitch. This one is past the catcher Romo. Throw to third base, and safe at third is Busch. Bregman moves to second. That was thrown so hard it went past Romo, bounced off the backstop, ricocheted right back to Romo, who fielded it and tried to throw to third, and nail Busch couldn't do it.
Yeah, kind of an odd play. Michael with a good slide in the third, a close play at third base. But this ball right at the knees at 99 miles an hour of Ian Happ. Romo, no chance of catching this ball.
So the count is 1-0 with Happ at the plate. Men at second and third, infield in. The pitch. A cold strike. Breaking ball, 1-1. Seems like the only pitch that Hicks has been able to get into the strike zone is that breaking ball.
He's got 2 wild pitches in this inning already.
Happ fouls it back. That one took a bite out of the catcher, Romo. So the home plate umpire, Laz Diaz, jogs out to the mound to personally deliver the ball to Hicks and give Romo a little bit of extra time to recover.
Another breaking lesson right in the middle of the plate, and Happer fouls this ball off, and it hits Romo in the right ankle. That one's going to hurt.
There's no padding down there, right?
Not in that spot, no.
So 1-2 the count with Happ at the plate. Men at second and third, infield in for the White Sox. We're in the top of the 8th, 7-4 Cubs. The pitch. Happ fouls it back off the screen.
Yeah, good cover by Ian, a high fastball. He fouled it back. Now after Michael Busch, you gotta anticipate that this could be another wild pitch. It's 1-2. You know he's going to try to throw a breaking ball down in the dirt.
And the 1-2. High and tight, missed with a fastball. 2 balls and 2 strikes. I'll
say this. For the hitters hitting against Hicks, They are not comfortable at bats.
Here comes the 2-2. High and outside. Happ has worked a full count. Bush is at third. Bregman at second base. One away. Top 8. Cubs up 7-4. Infield in for the White Sox. Happ waits for the payoff pitch. Now time called. Happ steps out of the box.
This, I got to believe, has got to be a slider, right? That's, as you were just saying, the only pitch he's got good command, unless he doesn't care about walking Happ to get to Suzuki. But you just keep putting guys on. That's just playing with fire.
Let's see what happens here. Hicks sets up high. The 3-2 to Happ. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Got him with the breaking ball. 2 away.
Yeah, it's a good pitch. It's one of the best ones Hicks has thrown in this inning. Starts out in the zone and breaks down and in. And you kind of knew that was going to be the pitch he was going to go with.
So men at second and third. Kuhn with 2 away here in the top of the 8th. Seiya Suzuki at the plate. And he takes a breaking ball for a strike. 0-1.
Now, with Vargas playing deep at third, Bushy can come way down the line. Any ball in the dirt, he's got a chance of scoring.
The next pitch is low and outside. It was another breaking ball from Hicks. 1-1. Seven 4 Cubs, 2 away, top of the 8th. Men at second and third. 1-1 to count on Suzuki. A long set, now the pitch. High and tight. Suzuki ends up on his backside. 2-1. It's a breaking ball.
Yeah, breaking ball way up and in. But when a guy's throwing 100, you're not going to hang around there long, that's for sure.
I believe that's an illustration of what you were saying earlier. Yeah. It's uncomfortable to be in the box against this guy. Jordan Hicks sets up high. And the pitch. Seiya swings and misses. Sweeper off the outside, 2-2. Bush at third, Bregman at second, Seiya at the plate. The 2-2 delivery. Misses off the outside with a fastball. And
they're going to challenge this last pitch. You think Hicks challenged this?
Taking a look at the replay monitor, it's a ball.
Yeah.
So now the White Sox are out of challenges.
Hey, Romo behind the plate really didn't catch that ball well at all. I'm kind of surprised they challenged it.
It's a full count. Suzuki waits. The payoff pitch. Foul back. That was a breaking ball.
This guy can make you take some crazy swings at home plate when you're just trying to protect. This is not one of the better swings Suzuki's ever going to take, but it was effective to get to the next pitch. He fouled it off.
3-2 the count. Men at second and third. Infield back. The pitch. Check swing on appeal. No swing. That's ball 4. Seiya heads to first base. It was a sweeper high and inside. And now the Cubs have the bases loaded with 2 away for Matt Shaw.
A hit, 3 walks in the inning, a base hit, a double, 3 walks, and 2 wild pitches in this inning for Hicks.
And Hicks remains in the game. Catcher Drew Romo goes out to the mound to have a conversation with the veteran right-hander. Matt Shaw will begin. Came in as a pinch hitter for Moises Ballesteros in the 7th inning and was hit by a pitch. 7-4 Cubs here in the top of the 8th. Bush at third, Bregman at second, and at first base it's Suzuki.
Now, if you're Shaw, you got to make sure he's going to throw strikes before you go up there hacking away. I would think this would be a situation where you'd almost take a strike.
Hicks sets up high, works his motion and deals, and misses low. Right,
I mean, why go up there swinging if he's walked 3 in the inning, and he's thrown 2 wild pitches. Just let him. Can he throw enough strikes to even strike you out?
That's a great point. Here's the 1-0. That one misses inside. Another breaking ball, 2-0. So the attitude, if you're at the plate, should be force him to make you swing.
Make him throw strikes. Can he throw 3 strikes before he throws 4 balls with the bases loaded?
The 2-0. Low and outside. Another bad miss. 3-0 the count with Shaw at the plate.
Yeah, that's the slider or sinker, and he pulled it way off the plate away.
Cub fans in the crowd making noise. Bases loaded. The 3-0. That's a called strike. A fastball at 98 miles per hour. Right down the middle.
I'd take another pitch. He hasn't proven to me he's going to throw enough strikes.
Shaw waits for the 3-1. Here it comes. Low and outside, ball 4. And the Cubs extend the lead. Bush comes in to score. 8-4. Cubs over the Sox here in the 8th. Give Shaw an RBI.
Good job by Matty Shaw to not give in to the pressure of the at-bat and want to do too much. If the pitcher's struggling, let him struggle, and that's going to be all for Hicks.
Will Venable is going to make the pitching change. Cubs have doubled the lead. They're up 8-4 over the White Sox. They've scored twice already in this 8th inning.
I believe this one's it's a rookie card, I know, but I feel like it's the first card that I ever, like, big league card. Obviously, as a kid, trying to get to the big leagues, the dream of making it. But as a kid that had cards, right, as a kid, this is like seeing your card the first time is pretty cool. So that's pretty powerful when you see that card.
Puedes ser el dueño de grandes momentos del béisbol. MLB Auction te permite participar en la subasta de bates, bolas y jerseys autografiados, con artículos de tus equipos de grandes ligas favoritos, leyendas y jugadores. Visita auctions.mlb.com.
For the White Sox, 3 games this season. He's allowed 4 earned runs on 4 hits in 2 2/3 innings pitched. It's an ERA of 13.50. Cubs have scored twice here in the top of the 8th. They've got an 8-4 lead over the White Sox, the opener of a 3-game set, the Southside edition of the 2026 Crosstown Series. And the Cubs still have the bases loaded here with 2 down and Carson Kelly 2 up.
Boy, and here's where Kelly can come up with a big swing of the bat. You can break this game open here in the 8th.
Kelly has 2 RBI singles tonight. Here's the pitch by Schweitzer. It's low. 1-0.
Cubs with good speed on the bases. Bregman first, Suzuki. And Shaw is at first. All 3 guys can run.
1-0. And a high fly ball hit to deep right center field. Racing over is Peters, and this one bounces on the track and over the wall for a ground rule double. So 2 runs come in, and the Cubs now up 10-4 over the White Sox here in the 8th.
We talked about it earlier, see, that this ball just really flies to that part of the ballpark in right center. And Kelly hits this ball. It's a line drive, but it just jets towards right center, hits the track, and bounces out of the ballpark. Ground rule double. Another big swing of the bat for Carson Kelly.
And now Pete Crow Armstrong at the plate. Shaw's at third base. Kelly at second. What a game for Carson Kelly. 3 hits, 4 runs batted in after the 2-run double moments ago. Crow Armstrong waits. Schweitzer deals. Swing and a miss. Slider. 0-1. Doubles by Cubs batters are sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Reliable, comfortable, convenient. Southwest just makes sense. The 0-1. Low and outside check swing on appeal. No swing, says Eric Backus at third. 1-1 now on PCA. Well, Armstrong had an RBI single his last time up. Cubs have blown this thing open up 10-4 here in the top of the 8th. Men at second and third with 2 away. The pitch. Low. 2-1. A 4-run 8th inning so far for the Cubs, and they're looking for more. The 2-1 to Crow Armstrong. And a hard hit line drive deep center. Peters races back and makes an over-the-shoulder catch for out number 3. As he steps onto the track. That ends a very productive top of the 8th for the Cubs. They score 4 times and lead 10-4. Middle 8 on the south side. On the score in the north.
They'll all be facing George Kirby tonight, making start number 9, who's been terrific so far this season. A wave and a miss.
A swing and a miss by Walker for strike 3. George Kirby with his first strikeout of the ball game.
And what I love, he gets it and goes.
Yep, like that. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss by Cole for strike 3. Strikeout number 2 for George Kirby, and 1 out for the Astros here in the bottom half of the second.
A wave and a miss. Chasing after that sweeper, which has been such a good pitch for George this year. That's his 3rd strikeout on that pitch tonight.
Look how much this ball slides away from the bat. That sweeper's been very effective. He struck out Christian Walker last inning. He gets Bryce Matthews again here.
The 1-2. Swung on a miss. Beautiful pitch. Fading into the dirt. No chance for Cole. Strikeout number 7 for George Kirby. 1 away here in the 4th.
Left center Profar sprints over. Oh, he lost it. It looked like it was going to be a really good play for Jurgen Profar. He did not see that ball. He didn't even come close to it.
These interactions between De La Cruz and Tito Francona have been priceless.
Got it there? Yes, indeed.
And the ball wasn't the only thing that landed in the basket.
What in the world happened out there to Jung-Hoo Lee? That's wild. I mean, you don't see that in the big leagues.
The first time. When it comes to tuxedos and suits, the pros at Suits 2020 have the winning looks. Why rent when you can own for about the same price? Schedule your free fitting at Suits2020.com.
10-4 ball games. We head into the 8th inning. Cubs lead the White Sox here at the rate. The out-of-town scoreboard. Take a look at. Sponsored by Club Citgo. Download the Club Citgo app. Save 23 cents per gallon on your first fill-up. Couple finals around the NL Central. Reds beat the Guardians 7-6. The Brewers beat the Twins with a score of 3-2. Phillies beat the Pirates 11-9 in 10 innings. Zach?
Judson, thank you. Javier Assad, the new man on the mound for the Cubs. And he starts off Miguel Vargas with a fastball for a strike, 0-1. Cubs have a 10-4 lead over the Sox here in the bottom of the 8th. Next pitch, low and outside.
By the way, one note on Kyle Schwarber, Zach. Schwarber hit 2 today. He becomes the 8th player in MLB history to hit 20 home runs in his first 45 games.
Wow. Here's the 1-1. Pop foul out of play off to the right.
It was also career 359 and 360 for Kyle Schwarber.
It's May 15th.
Yeah, I know.
He's got 20 home runs. May 15th.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Now the 1-2 to Vargas. Low and outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Judson, thank you. Pitching changes by the Cubs are sponsored by James Hardy Building Products, siding with the Cubs. Edward Cabrera started tonight, went 4 2/3, 3 runs on 3 hits, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts. The pitch. Fouled out of play off to the right by Vargas.
Just one game in progress. Cardinals and the Royals, they are knotted at 3 in the top of the 8th inning in St. Louis.
Thanks, Judson. 10-4 Cubs here in the opener of this 3-game set on the south side. Cubs scoring 4 times in the top half of the 8th inning. Assad rocks back, high leg kick and pitch, and Vargas lines one to left, back, leaps over his head, it bangs off the wall, Vargas on his way to second base with a double to begin the bottom of the 8th.
Line drive bullet off the bat of Vargas. Ian broke in and then had to go back, and this ball goes over his head. One hops the wall. That ball was well struck. Line drive, one hopper right at the White Sox bullpen.
I was looking at the exit velocity, 105 miles per hour off the bat of Vargas. So Vargas at second base. Cubs up 10-4, no one out, last of the 8th, and the batter is Colson Montgomery. He's 2 for 3 with a home run. The pitch. Up high. 1-0.
Cubs scored in the first, and their run from Montgomery in the second. That seems like yesterday.
It's been a long game. A lot of action. The pitch. Called strike.
Yeah, see, I mean, the time of the game isn't outrageous, but I mean, just a lot going on in this ball game.
You blink and something's been happening here.
38,000, almost 39,000 have been entertained tonight. That's for sure.
And the 1-1. This is up high. Another fastball from Assad. 2-1 the count on Montgomery.
I know for counts, he would love to see Assad pitch this 8th and pitch the 9th and finish out this game.
Pickoff play at second, and sliding back in safely is Vargas. Swanson, the shortstop, snuck in from behind as Assad wheeled and threw to second base. So 2-1 the count on the batter Montgomery. Assad works on the extreme third base side of the rubber. The pitch. Called strike. It was a cutter from Assad, 2-2. Let's all play ball. Don't miss Play Ball Weekend coming up on June 5th through the 7th, encouraging youth everywhere to get out and play. You can visit playball.org to register for a free event near you today. Chase Mydroth on deck. Colson Montgomery at the plate. The count is 2-2 with a man at second base. Here's the pitch. Swing and a tap foul. 2-2.
Good fastball by Assad. Little two-seamer starts out inside and breaks over that inside corner.
Very comfortable evening weather-wise here on the south side. The pitch by Assad. Swing and a ground ball foul off to the right by Montgomery. Count remains 2-2. It was 74 degrees at first pitch tonight. It's probably the mid-60s at the moment.
Beautiful night, though. It's been a great night here in Chicago. Supposed to get good weather and get even warmer in the next couple days, too. It'll be a great weekend for baseball here.
Montgomery pops it foul out of play off to the left, second deck. Count remains 2-2. High tomorrow is 81.
Yeah, beautiful day.
Now the 2-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Assad gets Montgomery with a changeup. 1 away.
Good pitch by Javi, and you want to just go on the attack here in the rest of this 8th inning. Perfect changeup. This one starts out in the zone, breaks down probably about knee high when it's all said and done.
Strikeouts by Cubs pitchers are brought to you by your Chicago and Northwest Indiana Hyundai dealers. 10-4 Cubs over the Sox with 1 away here in the bottom of the 8th. Chase Mydroth looks at a ball that apparently was inside, and the Cubs are going to challenge this.
Challenges instant replays, ball strike challenge sponsored by Northwestern Medicine.
And it is a ball that's a little low in the inner half.
Carson Kelly is been one of the best in baseball at challenging these calls. He's done a very good job of that.
Pitch to Mydroth. Tapper up the third base line. Foul. 1-1. So the Cubs lose one of their challenges. White Sox have none remaining here in regulation. Assad is ready. Works his motion. Here comes the 1-1. Low and outside to Mydroth, 2-1. The first out was sponsored by Xfinity. Reliable Wi-Fi at one price for 5 years. Xfinity. Imagine that. See how we did in the Binny's Beverage Depot attendance game in mere moments. The 2-1 by Assad. Mydroth fouls it out of play off to the right. The actual attendance tonight, 38,723 here at Wright Field on the south side. It's the first sellout of the season for the White Sox. We were all in the neighborhood. I happen to be a little bit closer than the rest of you. The 2-2. Mydroth fouls it back off the screen. And the crowd has been loud at several points throughout the game tonight, which makes it fun.
Yeah, no, they've been into the game all game, and ain't no one leaving either. I know they got fireworks after the game here Friday night, but it's been a very active crowd tonight.
Mydroth looks at a sweeper low and outside, so he's worked a full count. One down, bottom 8, Cubs up 10-4. Vargas at second base. Righty-righty matchup as Assad deals. The payoff pitch. Pop fly, shallow left center. Coming in, Happ, he's under it, and makes the catch. 2 away.
And that's what you want. You want to just keep throwing strikes for Assad and just get through this 8th. You might be able to get the 9th inning also.
Reminder to stay tuned for the toast of the game presented by Binny's Beverage Depot coming up in the 9th inning with Ron Coomer. Randall Grichuk at the plate. Right-handed batter hits out of a crouch, open stance. Assad delivers. Excuse me, check swing foul ball that lands in the Cubs dugout along the first base line, 0-1. Vargas at second base with 2 down here in the bottom of the 8th. Cubs up by 6. A long set, the 0-1. And a pop fly, shallow center coming in, Crow Armstrong, and he makes the catch for out number 3. As Grichuk flies out, and Vargas is stranded at second base. We head to the 9th. Cubs up 10-4 over the Sox on the score in the Northwestern Medicine Cubs Radio Network.
Hey Cubs fans, it's Craig Counsell. Listen to every game here on the Chicago Cubs Radio Network.
This is
Vargas 1 for 3, 1-0. Vargas hits it deep to left center. This one's got some carry, and it's gone. Eldemaro Vargas gets one back. Well, you're the DH. You're supposed to be the hitter, and he's been hitting a single and a run scored in the 2nd, and a 2-out homer in the 7th, his first of the year. That went 431 feet, 109 miles an hour off the bat. That's a momentum breaker right there. He's the ultimate argument for the 26-man roster.
We have a couple things out here for the first acknowledged unassisted triple play. And Cy Young said, Neil, where are you going? He said, 3 outs.
Neil Ball had a fairly short career as a big leaguer, but continued playing in the minors, where he encountered true baseball royalty.
Now we're going to connect to Babe Ruth.
He dominated the game like no one else had before.
I'm holding Babe Ruth's bat.
During a 1934 baseball barnstorming tour of Japan, Ruth faced 17-year-old pitcher Eiji Sawamura. Sawamura became a hero in Japan, and the Nippon Professional Baseball League's version of the Cy Young Award bears his name. Maeda won the award in 2010 and again in 2015, when the runner-up was Shohei Ohtani.
First pitch crushing! Oh, man!
Like the 3 outs of a triple play. It all connects. Go to baseballhall.org to plan your visit to the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown, New York, and catch every episode of Hall of Fame Connections on MLB.tv.
2-run double. Sponsored by Circa Resort and Casino. Get ready for the time of your life. CircaLasVegas.com. Here's Zach and Coon.
Judson, thank you. Dansby Swanson leads things off for the Cubs here in the top of the 9th. They've got a 10-4 lead over the White Sox. Left-hander Tyler Schweitzer on the mound. High leg kick and pitch, and he misses high and outside for ball 1. Cubs broke it open with 4 runs in the 8th inning. Swanson started the rally with a double. And a lot of wild things happened in that 8th inning. The pitch by Schweitzer. High and outside, 2-0. Cubs drew 4 walks in that 4-run 8th inning. Carson Kelly had a 2-run double. A 2-0 delivery. Swanson swings and misses at a slider, 2-1.
Yeah, the Cubs hit around in that 8th. It's one of those innings, that just walks. Started out with the double by Dansby. And walks, wild pitches, good at-bats by the Cubs hitters, not chasing anything. Hicks was erratic.
2 balls and a strike. A pitch to Swanson. He looks at a slider for strike 2. Right along the outside edge near the top of the zone. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Schweitzer, the lefty, works on the first base side of the rubber. High leg kick and pitch. And a ground ball up the middle, backhanded by Mydroth. Across the body throw, dug out by Murakami at first. Swanson's retired, 1 away.
Pretty nice play by both guys. Murakami at first base, that's a nice pick at first, that's for sure. He makes a nice play. So he can, he can pick it and swing the bat.
Here's Nico Horner, who's 1 for 5 today with a single and a run scored. The pitch. Horner looks at a strike, a slider that spins into the zone. A reminder to stay tuned for the Old National Bank Cubs radio postgame show, the official bank of the Cubs radio network, with Judson Richards following tonight's festivities. The 0-1. A ground ball snagged on a hop on the mound by Schweitzer. Underhand toss to Murakami at first, and Horner is retired, 2 down.
One of the big at-bats of the game, was just a routine little 4-3, and that was the at-bat Nico had to get Swanson to third, where he gives up the at-bat against Hicks early in that inning, and then, the thing just kind of spiraled out of control for Hicks. Wild pitches and some walks. Cubs put up some big number 4 spot in that 8th and really broke the game open.
Michael Busch swings and misses at a fastball from Schweitzer, 0-1. Busch was one of the guys who drew a walk in that big 8th inning. Cubs up 10-4 here with 2 away in the 9th. The pitch. This is high with a fastball.
It's just good at bats and good baseball. By not, letting Hicks off the hook and making him throw strikes. And Bushy did just that. I think in his at-bat, he never swung the bat.
Schweitzer misses low and outside, 2-1 on Busch. And an RBI double in the 5th inning. Lefty-lefty matchup. Schweitzer delivers. In the dirt, 3-1. White Sox entered play with a record of 22-21, above 500 for the first time since 2022. Cubs leading the NL Central at 28-16. The pitch low. That's ball 4. Busch draws his 2nd walk of the night.
Well, this is some scorecard I got working here. A lot of 6 at-bats for Bushy and Horner, and this will be the 6th at-bat for Bregman in this ball game.
He's been on base 3 times, a couple of singles and a walk. Bregman looks at a breaking ball for a strike, 0-1. 2 away here at the top of the 9th. The Cubs with a 10-4 lead. Busch at first, being held on by Murakami. Bregman waits for the 0-1. Here it comes. It's in there for a strike, another sweeper. Bregman's starting to get hot. We really haven't seen that for long stretches this season, and think about where the Cubs are this year.
I think we've seen Bregman swinging the bat today. That looks good.
Line drive caught on one knee, back of third by
go.
Vargas for out number 3. But as you mentioned, you keep hitting the ball hard like that, it's going to find some grass eventually. We head to the last of the 9th. Cubs leading the White Sox 10-4 on the score and the Northwestern Medicine Cubs Radio Network.
All your favorite games from MLB Play are back. Bigger, bolder, and better than ever. Test your skills with daily puzzles like MLB Pickle, the Ultimate Mystery Player Challenge, and Immaculate Grip, where stats and strategy collide. Then in Spinball, build your roster, take on your friends, and compete for the weekly prize. Or be the first to beat the streak and hit your way to the $5.6 million jackpot. Plus, the all-new Daily Walk-Off. Lock in your players by category for the walk-off win. The game's official home for games is MLB Play. Only on the MLB app and MLB.com.
I'm going to go check out Food Truck Row. So, what did you guys get today?
Philly cheesesteaks.
Both of you got the same thing. Are they that good?
Oh, yeah.
Got a hot dog and some fries.
Just kind of basic ballpark.
Chicken bacon sandwich.
Uh-huh.
Philly cheesesteak.
Okay.
And some
crinkle cut fries.
Okay, where are you guys from?
We're from Dallas.
Dallas. That's what's fun about baseball. It brings different regions together, not just the ball and glove and bat, but what we're eating.
Comparable plans from T-Mobile, Verizon, and AT&T as of 3/24/26.
Te encantan los jugadores. Te encanta el juego.
¡Y se fue!
Ahora puedes ser el dueño de grandes momentos del béisbol. MLB Auction te permite participar en la subasta de bates, bolas, jerseys autografiados y más, con artículos de tus equipos de grandes ligas favoritos, leyendas y jugadores agregados toda la temporada. Cada artículo es autenticado por MLB para asegurar que lo que llega directamente a tu hogar es original. ¿Quieres una parte del juego? Visita auctions.mlb.com.
They say it's a game of numbers.
In any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Chicago Cubs.
Kelnick blasts a high fly ball deep center, and this one is way out of here. Solo shot by Jared Kelnick to begin the bottom of the 9th inning. It's now 10-5 Cubs here on the south side.
I get that's first home run of the year for Kelnick. And he hits this ball over the first section of the hitting backdrop in those bushy ivory or ivy type setting in center field. That was a blast.
446
feet.
That
ball was well struck.
As Tristan Peters looks at a ball from Assad up high. Fastball that missed. It is not the longest home run that Kelnick has hit against the Cubs. The next pitch misses up high. 2-0
Last
the
year
count.
he hit a really long, right? 2 years ago?
Back in 2023, Cole.
Yeah,
remember when he played for Seattle? This was at Wrigley.
Oh, I remember, yeah.
He hit a 482-foot bomb to center. The pitch, swing and a miss by Peters, 2-1. It was off of Julian Merriweather. The longest regular season home run in the StatCast era at Wrigley Field. The pitch. Peters hits a high fly ball right center field. Playable for Crow Armstrong, who now comes in, angling more towards center and makes the catch. Peters is retired, one away. You mentioned it. I'll call it shrubbery that acts as the batter's eye in straightaway center. And there are 3 decks of it. It hit the second deck, right?
Yeah, went over. That ball was well struck.
So 1 down, Cubs up 10-5 here at the bottom of the 9th inning. Drew Romo at the plate. Assad's first pitch. This is high and outside, 1-0. Assad rocks back, high leg kick and pitch. Line drive down the left field line, slicing foul off the netting. So it's 1-1. Coop, it's time for the Toast of the Game ball player, presented by Binny's Beverage Depot. Binny's is the official champagne provider of the Chicago Cubs. Binny's Beverage Depot, as this one is lined over the head of Horner for a base hit to right for Romo. Binny's Beverage Depot, if you can't find it at Binny's, it's probably not worth drinking.
Well, I think you could come up with a lot of guys. Cubs with 10 runs on 14 hits in this ball game. But I think the catcher, Carson Kelly, he's got to be the guy today with 4 RBIs, 3 hits. A double, drove in 4. Big double helped break this game open on bases loaded double to right center. So Carson Kelly would be our Binny's Toast of the Game ball player. If you can't find it at Binny's, it's probably not worth drinking.
Excellent choice as Sam Antonacci looks at a sinking fastball for a strike. 0-1. 1 on, 1 out here in the ninth. Cubs up 10-5. Antonacci looks at a ball up high, 1-1. Antonacci, a left-handed batter against the right-hander Assad. Romo is at first base, 1 down here in the bottom of the ninth. The pitch. That one misses high and outside. 2 balls and a strike. Game 2 tomorrow night between the Cubs and Sox, Southside edition. Veteran Jamison Tyone will be on the hill for the Cubs. The pitch. Cold strike fastball from Assad to Antonacci. 2-2.
Came about a half hour earlier tomorrow, right?
Yeah, first pitch, 6:10, meaning our coverage with the pregame show begins at 5:35 from the south side. Fellow right-hander Davis Martin will be on the mound for the White Sox. The pitch. Fouled back by Antonacci. Tyone's 2-2 with a 3.94 ERA. Martin's been impressive in the early going of this season. 5-1, Coon.
Yep.
A 1.62 ERA. Now the 2-2 in the dirt. Caught on a hop by Kelly. Full count.
You want to throw that good 2-seam fastball or something. See if you can just get a little pitch to contact, get a ground ball. Maybe a little too hopper to Nico. You might be able to turn a pair.
A pitch by Assad. A bouncing ball hit right to Nico to second for 1. Swanson the first. You called it, Coob. Double play. And that's the ball game. Cubs take game 1 of the Southside edition of the Crosstown Series. They beat the White Sox 10-5.
A nice ball game and comeback ball game for the Cubs there on the south side after the offense having its struggles, as the game have progressed, on the road. And, they get back to Chicago. Now, this isn't a home game, but they're in Chicago. And, just some really, really good baseball, 14 hits for the Cubs today. That's a big deal.
Yeah, the Cubs with 14 hits and 10 runs, not one of them a home run.
Yeah, how about that? In this ballpark. You'll take that. Yeah.
Which is something else as the Cubs win. They knock off the White Sox 10-5 to open up the 2026 Crosstown Series. We've got Bruce Levine on the field. We'll have a special guest momentarily. It's time to fly the W, sponsored by Southwest Airlines, the official airline of the Cubs radio network, as the Cubs improve to 29-16. And we've seen a theme this season, Coom, where the Cubs will win 10 in a row, they'll lose a few games, they'll win 10 more, they lose a few games, and now they've won 2 in a row.
Yeah, they just played pretty good baseball today. Cabrera kind of ran out of gas and got a little erratic in that 5th inning and came out of the game. But, all in all, in that 5th inning and came out of the game. But, all in all, the Cubs bullpen and everything did its job. And I think we are ready for Bruce Levine, and he's got a guest down in the Cubs dugout.
All right, guys, I'm here with Carson Kelly. Carson, what a way the offense broke out tonight. Talk a little bit about, we always hear about